the sins are literally personified and running around being problems is FMA, so I'm justified in that one.
I mean, there's literally a mediocre anime called Seven Deadly Sins.
I enjoyed the ride on that one.
But also, the Seven Deadly Sins do have actual like virtue counterparts, and
yes, the seven heavenly virtues, which ironically are
Them as well.
I quoted this one. It's someone else's turn.
What's that?
I quoted this one last time. It's someone else's turn.
I used to be able to do this when I played a lot more World of Darkness.
What, the seven deadly sins or the seven heavenly virtues?
The virtues. It's what?
It's what? Chastity, temperance, charity, diligence, kindness, humility, and God, I forget what it was.
I think you actually got 7.
Is it patience? I think it's patience. I think that's all of it.
7 heavenly virtues. Let's do it.
I feel like the virtues change names more than the sins do.
There's a version of them that doesn't match to the 7 deadly.
Yeah, chastity, temperance, charity, diligence, patience, kindness, humility.
Yeah, there you
go. And I mean, honestly, depending on which version you look at, there's wiggle room in those definitions, and I have enjoyed that gray area a lot.
Yep. As he likes the gray area. Mm-hmm.
He's a gray man.
I mean, again, I said Francto is a spirit of generosity, not charity.
Mm-hmm.
Close, but not quite the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
Same thing with comfort.
Well, comfort isn't a virtue in any real way, shape, or form. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's a offshoot. They're not exact one for ones, but they're really fucking close.
Close enough for our purposes.
Yeah. I mean, the better question I have to ask you is, where's the other 4?
There was someone I thought was...
It's entirely possible we fought at least one of them.
I don't think it's any of those random ones, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the one that ran the fuck off?
What, you mean the amalgamation?
Possible gluttony spirit?
Maybe? I don't know, I feel like it would have been more...
I'm just saying, if you want thanks I hate it ideas.
I think that the fake ringmaster is one.
Yep.
I think
the Spy Master?
I straight up don't think that, because we know that the Ringmaster went and talked to a spirit to get his powers.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
he might have made a deal with the spirit.
We do know that.
I don't remember that.
Honestly,
there was a valley with some powers that he's gone to. At least one person we spoke to confirmed that for us.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
I kind of suspect the Hellfire Bender either is one or is being possessed by one.
Yeah, but which one would he be possessed by? Of the remaining virtues, what the hell fits for that? Or,
no, the one that's already been corrupted.
Right, but of the remaining sins, what the hell fits for him?
Right.
For the Hellfire Bender, if he is one.
Probably Wrath.
No, Wrath is Co.
Yeah,
Wrath is
Pride
Co?
maybe.
Yeah, Wrath is Co.
I think, could be Pride, could be a take on Gluttony for burn everything.
It could also be that he's just corrupted in a different nature, because...
I mean, I'd probably roll with envy.
There is still the Mother Spirit.
Yeah, but I don't think that's any of them.
Yeah, but she's been working with the Experimental Weapons Division, so, like, since he's from there, he could also just be from that.
I mean... Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a Ringmaster, but I had forgotten that detail.
And you guys have all the information. Some things you've just said, I'm not going to say what. You're forgetting other details.
Probably.
But you guys have, a good handle on things now, especially after this revelation. I told you it wasn't going to take that many sessions for you guys to, like, really starting to have the big picture.
I'm just wondering, how long ago did I actually make that bet to you in private chat?
Oh, well, let's go take a look at your private chat. Let's do a search for sins.
December.
Short guess, we're fighting the 7 deadly sins. Yep.
But short guess.
Mm-hmm. I picked up on something back then. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We didn't even have a fight with one of them at that point, did we?
Yeah, I don't remember.
So I believe the context for that comment from Nick was when you guys were fighting all those creatures in the swamp. He guessed because there were so many of them that there were going to be a total of 7.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so for an entirely different.
Yeah, he guessed for an entirely different reason. He was... You got in my headspace, Nick. You just hit the wrong target.
Yep. I mean, their parent could be Lust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What? The mother glowworm?
Maybe,
I don't know. Either way, do we have...
I feel like that one would be more Pride.
Yeah,
I don't think it's either. I think she's not
I think
related
she's
to them.
separate. I do.
Probably
hear.
above and beyond.
Yeah, 2 minutes for Nara. You close?
Unless we're going with one of the versions of the list where idolatry is one of the ones.
That's usually just associated with pride.
Yeah, but it's sometimes listed separately.
I've never seen idolatry.
yeah, I have never seen that.
Because since I care about theming things, I've looked up the alternate list or versions of the lists that kind of got like dropped as time went on. Blasphemy or idolatry has appeared as like a sin at the level of like the 7 deadly before and then got dropped.
Fair.
I looked up a bunch of dumb stuff to figure out theming.
Bunch of dumb theming things.
It was probably removed because it's redundant with the tech in there.
That there's the thing of like when you look up at like some of the stuff that were considered, some of them are redundant through others, some of them are redundant through other means. Like I believe that there was a version that had like 2 or 3 versions of pride at one point for like the difference between, I guess, both vainglory and hubris were separate categories.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Very redundant.
Why do I have 3 pages of notes from last week?
You tell us, is it?
I don't know. I mean, this is weird because, like... Oh, whatever. Screw it. I'll keep it all. Alrighty. Alright, 7:15. I guess we will get started. So, with all that craziness, talk of spirits and monsters and grand escapes,
Oh my.
what happened last time on Avatar: The Great War?
Yeah, I just heard that in the voice from Beast Wars. It's like last time on Beast Wars.
Last time on Avatar: The Great War.
So
we made it to Ba Sing Se. We got in a fight with some people that were like scalpers, or we found out that basically a bunch of people got hired to work on the wall, but they were paid not hourly, but in total sums, which meant people were lollygagging and making the same amount, which pissed off people that were actually working on the wall. There was a big strike. We got called to meet Frankto, who's Dan's boss, and we found out that Frankto is, in fact, a spirit of generosity who was becoming a spirit of greed because of all the crap that was going on in the city, and he was in way over his head. We got him out of the city, just barely, and I forget where we went to go after that. We decided on a place, but I don't remember.
we were going to the library.
That's
And,
right, the library.
and spotted Stone Jin headed on his way back to the city.
That's
Yep.
right.
Oh right, we were gonna confront them.
Yeah.
I don't know, I still like Rizik's idea of inscribe a spike with what the fuck and put it in their way.
Just throw a message to them of what the fuck did you guys do?
I think
Yeah,
it's
because also they're being followed by something.
yes.
Yes, indeed they are. So, as we open up session 28, you guys are perched on the top of a mountain on a moonless night. Yira had recently awoken everybody while on her watch and points out the distant figures of Stone Jin Wei doing the little mountain run, where he's running in place and the land underneath him is just skating across the plain towards Ba Sing Se, with Yukie standing right next to him.
I can't decide if it's better or worse if he has the Naruto run pose while doing that.
I think he has to be Naruto running. Like, really.
Well, someone roll me a status die. Odds, he's doing the Naruto run. Evens, he's not.
Where's Kenzie when we need her? Plug it all bullet. Nope, never mind. Minghua did it.
Naruto run pose it is! The dice have spoken!
I'm the one who brought this into the world. It should be my fault if it happens.
Weeb.
Yes. His billowing white cloak is flowing behind him. His glorious mane of hair and beard are shimmering in the lightlessness of the dark. And you can just see Yuki standing right next to him, like,
Be right back.
forehead squarely inserted into their palm as they are moving at a rather rapid clip towards Ba Sing Se. And again, off in the distance, because Yura got such an amazing success last week, there is this small black figure kind of just peeking over the horizon from the edge you guys can see from where Serpent's Pass makes landfall, kind of coming up and out over the water. Did I get this right? That's Serpent's Pass, right?
Sorry, I had to deal with something. What'd I miss?
No, we're in Serpent.
We're getting recap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still just recap. Oh, crap, I'm sorry. That's Chameleon Bay. Serpent's Pass is 33. Whoopsie! Coming up from where 38 is. A small, dark-on-dark silhouette. But from this distance, it's, at least because of your good roll, it's clearly visible, which means this thing is pretty damn big.
Does it have multiple hands?
Too far away to see.
Even with the spyglass from last session.
With the spyglass from last session is the only reason you guys were able to pick this thing out in the first place. It's
Gotcha.
that far away. You guys are closer to Ba Sing Se proper than you are from where this thing is making landfall. It's
Yeah,
like it's
like-
like a
shit.
blip.
I do want to ask what the fuck they did.
The problem, I think, is, on one hand, we should probably ask what they did and at least give him a warning about that. On the other hand, consider the people traveling with us right now.
Okay, fair point.
I mean, that's fair. Though also considering, I mean, Hotaru has a very obvious crush.
That was not what I meant.
Yeah, it was more. Yeah, Franco is probably the more important.
Franco-
I mean, we,
Hold
we
on,
could have
hold
Han and like one or two other people.
Hold on, are we
airbend
talking
down
in
to
character or
talk
out
to
of
them.
character right now?
I'm not sure.
Speak in character. It makes my life easier.
Yeah,
I
in
will
character.
say that because we've ruled that BB is carrying some of us, we could have a contingent go down on BB and have the dragon stay up with all the spirit people.
I feel like we actually need to have it be the opposite of that, considering how many people would be going and what size they are.
Point is, the spirits don't get near the Red Lotus people.
Sorry, be right
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
That probably is the correct decision to separate.
We have two flying things. We can do this.
You do. You can, in fact, do this. But the question is this what you choose? Is this what you want to do? You guys tell me.
Mingwa is definitely curious, but will not be pushing for it.
Okay, which of us are going to be going? Because it feels like if it's Yuro, Hotaru, Mingwa, Kakan, and Rizik, none of the people she's concerned about Stone Jin being incredibly angry at / immediately trying to exercise are going to be there.
Mingwa is actually in some ways inclined to stay with the spirit crowd,
Okay,
given the whole jarring thing.
Hotaru has returned with her now baby sidekick, baby badger mole, Smalley.
Smalley is
Hey.
it's a tiny statue of Frankto made out of clay.
See, I'm just thinking that, oh hey, BB has a voice actor for a while.
Why are you making my daughter a statue of Frankto, Izzy? That's weird.
Because he could have done worse.
I could have done worse.
Can it just be one of the little badger moles?
Sure, fine. All right, so you guys are going to be going down and intercepting Stone Jinwei on his way to Ba Sing Se?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
For ease of my life, I'm just going to say you guys are going as a group. If you are present. Because I think the biggest concern is not them, unless one of you really wants to stay behind.
I think that Mingwa and Nora would stay behind.
That is true. Nara needs a babysitter.
Oh, the Han's there.
And Mingwa and Nora together cause no problems whatsoever.
That's why you have Han watching you.
Yep.
That is actually fair.
Okay. So yeah, as you guys approach on the silent dragon wings that are Jasper's, you actually see that Stone Jinwei is looking a little flabbergasted, and Yukie is just kind of like massaging her temples and just like shaking her head like no, like you can tell there is something going on and neither of them are happy about it.
Sorry, Izzy, you broke up there for me for a sec.
Stone Jinwei looks frazzled, and Yukie is like rubbing her temples and shaking her head. Something's up. Something big.
Seeing as how... so have they noticed us yet?
Nope, you guys are flying in silently, and there's no moonlight. There's no moon. It's pitch black.
Right. How are we
Right.
Before I just do this...
We still have no keeping track when that happens, do we?
Nope.
Nope.
Before you're just, briefly, let's say, flare a fire out to let them know someone is approaching. Just going to confirm with the others. We don't want to look like we're ambushing them.
Are we riding BB down or the dragon?
The dragon. That's how you
We
guys...
have enough people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will not all fit on BB.
Well, I think this is preferable anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it better.
Yeah, you as you make a flare sign, Yuki looks up and taps Stone Jinwei on the shoulder, and he looks up. He doesn't really slow his pace. He's gonna keep hurrying to the city and say, "Who goes there?"
Do you go there, girl?
Okay, our group does not actually have a name. You're just going to call out with her own name.
I forget, did you tell him your name last time you met him? Or did you use a fake?
Yes.
You did.
Yes, I absolutely did when we were fighting to save the same village from mistakes.
Okay, yeah, you're just going to get... Yura, quickly! To Ba Sing Se, we need to secure the fortifications!
You have some problems with that, a large number of them. Also a bigger problem following you.
You don't know the half of it.
What is that?
It's not a that. It's a them.
Hey, it's Jar Spirit!
Actually, he's going to actually stop and slam on the ground, so there's just going to be a pillar of rock that just kind of, like, raises up so he's, like, level with you guys. Mm-hmm. He will not be talked down to. He's going to, like, point off to the horizon to where you guys first saw this thing. He's going to be like, while we were traveling, scouting around the farmlands, we ran across an archdemon, making ready for an assault on the capital.
Okay.
There are at least half a score of large menacing creatures that are on their way here, most likely to destroy the innocents in the capital. We cannot allow them to break through the wall.
I don't think breaking through the wall is going to be your biggest concern.
Explain.
The wall's quite unfinished.
That idiot contractor didn't finish his job?
It's the result of internal sabotage. You may want to bring it up with your friends, the Dai Li.
The Dai Li aren't my friends. They refuse to let us seek audience with the Earth King.
Well, then they're also obstructing the construction of the wall.
Yes, so that would seem to be where one of the major problems lies.
Regardless, we don't have time for internal squabbling. They'll be here by sunrise, if not sooner. He's going to say, pointing. And from this distance, with the spyglass that I know is ever present, you guys can make out the largest of the figures.
Oh, it is multiple.
Do we recognize?
It's on
Can
the
you
map.
expand the size of that? So no, it's probably the actual size we see it at.
Yep, thought so.
Yep.
You remember
Shit
that.
we didn't deal with. Welcome back.
Do we have any idea on how we purify those still, or not yet? Because we still haven't made it to the fucking library.
No, we just have to beat the shit out of them, like we did the last ones.
You're just gonna know. Well, at least of the largest, we fought some of its siblings before. This is what it looked like that one was doing back then, and you're just going to relay that information to him.
I need to find the rest of my company. We've all got to be on high alert. Like, that may be the largest one, but it is far from the worst one there. They have a spawning pit on legs, along with the archdemon, which apparently is hive-minding with all of them.
Like I said, jar spirit.
Mm-hmm. And you're just going to nod. One other question. What of the spirit that you were chasing when we last parted ways, the one that was created as an amalgamation?
That's the spawning pit.
Ah.
We've been chasing it around, and every time we get close, a new one of those creatures always seem to pop up. And while we're able to purify plenty of them, they always seem to disappear.
Disappear.
I think this falls into the thing of where the spirits generally, with what we would have done of if you just beat them into submission, they dissipate and reform. If they're still in corrupted form, they'd remain in corrupted form.
That depends on the demon. A spawn such as this will be permanently destroyed. However, an archdemon would stick around, returning to its land only to come back after it finds its way to weasel itself back into our plane of existence.
I mean, we'd want to actually figure out how to actually purify and switch it from corrupted to non-corrupted state, which, unfortunately, I don't think any of us know how to do.
You can't purify a demon. It's always sickening.
They're not demons. Will you stop saying that?
There are two sides to each spirit, from what we have gathered. One aspect much more negative than the other. We'd want to, if seeing as how they would reform, we would want to bring them back. We would want to bring them to their other aspect instead.
Does he have any response, Izzy, before we continue?
I'm sorry, I was reading a message that just popped up. His response to that is going to be, I don't know who taught you your knowledge about spirits, or about demons. But demons, once they are corrupted, can almost never go back. That's why they're demons.
I mean,
I
there's a large
suspect he
difference
actually-
between almost never and never.
Helpful entities are celestials. They rarely get corrupted. Those are the ones you can trust.
They should rarely be corrupted, but that is not the current state of the world.
In all honesty, it seems like someone is purposely corrupting them.
Have you ever met a celestial creature? I have.
By your definition, yes. Have met celestial creatures and seen them get corrupted into being being what you would consider a demon.
Then I am sorry for your loss, but there's no helping them after it comes to that.
Just tell them you met the moon. They can't really argue with that one.
I mean, we already did tell them we met the moon before.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Yeah.
Yes,
We've met both the moon and the sun at this point.
Yeah.
Yep. Say no. We've met both the sun and the moon, and while one of them is more active in trying to stop this, there is a feedback loop between our own actions and what corruption is happening.
And the only way to stop a feedback loop is to cut it in half. That way it doesn't continue bounding back and forth. If you break the circle, it no longer feeds back. So by eliminating these demons, we are stopping the spread of negativity. Yes?
While that may be temporarily true, you yourself have said that many of them keep returning. This is because from everything I've learned, perhaps the only person who probably can actually sever that is the Avatar.
Well, I don't disagree with you. The Avatar has been somewhere hidden in the world, and our method of, once we find a door and closing it, putting a lock on it, seems to be working. We just need to find all the doors. That's why I've sent Samael and Arashi to the Celestial Temple of Learning.
The what?
Where
I think he's referring to the library that we've been trying to get to so many times as well.
So it's like we've been trying to search for several places of learning to find other means of doing so too. What is the Celestial Temple, just in case it's not the same one that we've heard of?
Is going to explain a vast building that is a monument to knowledge, housing thousands of texts written from generation to generation, and it is safeguarded by a angelic spirit.
I think this is probably the same one.
It's the library.
Yeah.
Do we think we have enough time to get to the library before this attack happens?
He has already said he expects them to be here probably before sunup.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily trust their research.
Jinwei, we're trying to search for that too, and as you can see, can travel very quickly. We may be able to get more of your team back by the time that this horde reaches Ba Sing Se.
If you think you can manage it, I wasn't expecting the help from anybody else outside of my team. I need to contact other factions of the White Lotus and see if they can send support here. This city must be saved for the sake of all the innocents that it holds. Besides, these demons have shown their hand.
I would not be so sure that they've played all their cards yet.
But they have. We got the drop
what you
on
put
them.
on the walls, do you think you'll be able to hold out in time for us to go and get the rest of your team?
There's... As long as Shibu and Akasaka did the job I left them with, the walls should be impenetrable for any demons.
You know what? I'm going to warn them. From what I can tell, by the balance of energy in the city, there are still a few weak points remaining.
Well, are the weak points entirely due to the walls not being finished and their seals being done, or is it from the fact that their seals don't do what they think their seals do? Because that also could be a possibility.
In character, I don't care the reason. I care that, like, as much as he's wrong about spirits, he actually does care about protecting people.
Okay, fair.
I don't want to see them get blindsided by thinking something's impenetrable when it's not. Izzy, could I just make a roll for giving him advice and tactical appraisal, basically for boosting him?
Roll me a leadership overcome.
Will do. What status are we in right now?
You guys are currently in green.
Boo, my worst status for this. You know, this is worth spending a +2 bonus on.
Okay.
I wish I could call a principal. I don't think I can call a principal on this.
Probably not.
Can anyone boost me with their knowledge of the supernatural before I roll?
I mean, I can try.
Go for it. More is better. Hopefully Rizik does not roll higher than I do here, but...
6 to take a +2.
6. Well, that's a 9.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no. Let me see. Might be a 10. Might be a 10. It's a 9.
It's a 9. Okay, yeah. So you give him advice as to like where he might find fault in it, and from a very quick exchange, you guys can gather that the reason he believes that the city is not as fortified as he hoped is because there is in fact a big gaping hole in the wall. The seals... Each seal acts like a large shield, and the closest seals to the center area where you guys were able to make the breakthrough, it's just not overlapping right there because there is no wall. And that's not something he can fix.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
It is a choke point, though, so...
It is a choke point, yes.
Yep, and at the very least, they should be able to defend better, and that is yours hope.
Yeah. I'm going to say, did you guys get off of Jasper, or are you still flying next to him as he's, like, moving on?
Oh, I was assuming we're going to land, and then he decided he had to raise a stone platform to be at eye level with us.
Yeah, I thought we were still
We
flying.
landed and, like, burned a map of Bossing Say into the top of this pillar to explain to him where the weaknesses that I thought were.
Okay. I'm going to say you guys are relatively close to the city wall at this point. And yeah, he's going to be able to get the general idea of where that spot is. And he's going to just tell you guys, well, if our luck holds out, there won't be any demons with wings that show up. And if there are, hopefully we will be able to take it out with some of the earthbenders. Yeah, no, that's it. Yuki is actually being pretty quiet as this conversation has been going on. She's just kind of like had her arms crossed and has just kind of like been rubbing one of her forearms.
Probably not as good as waterbending, but were either of you injured before in whatever happened? Maybe able to relieve some of it. It's the best I can do before we head out and make haste.
Yuki's going to look up at you and kind of like, tenderly hold her arm, and Jinwei's going to be like, we're fine. If you have places to go, it's best you make all haste to get back here.
Was Yukiya the firebender?
Yes. The firebender that could not ignite fire.
Say, give me a couple of moments. Also looks at Hotaru for and like brief nod of the head. Yukiya, how much do you know about chi and the way it circulates?
I mean, I get the flow of energy. It's just generating the right amount of chi that I've never been really good with. Just flowing it from one part of my body to another. I was going to say, because she rubs her forearm.
Give me your arm for a second.
She's going to hold it out. And as you look at it, there is this nasty, like, 1.5 inch deep gash along her arm.
Well, that is more than I'll be able to handle right now, but I can at least teach you the technique that should aid your healing and help with any pain.
Okay, I had to step away for a few minutes. I feel like I've missed something important.
We're just healing some of Jinwei's.
There's a large gash in Yuki's forearm.
Okay, yeah.
Principle of fire.
That's something important. I'm going to help with that.
Yep. Izzy, Principle of Fire for do the most I can for explain how use chi to heal through moving fire around.
Sure.
I'm going to boost. Oh, right. Izzy, I have to manually update my character in Roll20, right?
Yeah, I did not have time to do that. That is a 3, sir.
Yeah. Nope, that's a 6 right now prior to whatever boost Hotaru's giving.
I'm going to roll stuff that isn't the real thing, just it's the right dice, and I'll fix it in a minute.
Because this is a principle, Izzy.
Right.
I did have one question for you as well, Izzy.
Sure. What's up?
Seeing as how she was the one with some unusual bending, does she have any of that metal on her?
The Spiridor?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you remember, she was using like streamers and whips. It looks like the edges of those ribbons are like metallic in nature.
After confirming that they seem to be the same ore, I'm going to ask if she's capable of bending without these. Or if she has tried bending without these.
I mean, I can. They just make my life a lot easier. Why?
Well, because if you're having trouble with your bending, there's a few things they could be a thing that's supporting your bending. I know other people use them. They could also be something that is interfering with the bending, because I imagine it could work the same way. And it is the thing of they can alter the way someone can bend, or give someone the ability to bend in the right material, or not material, in the right shape, or maybe concentration. Definitely need to get a hold of samples of this metal to experiment with more later.
Okay, hold on a minute. I'm gonna say that's a conviction.
Do you want me to be rolling conviction, or?
No, Jinwei is rolling this one.
Oh, does Jinwei also have this metal on him?
He doesn't. You're
No,
not.
You literally just told him that there's a metal around that can restrict people's bending.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
We don't really actually know if that's the case.
Yeah. No.
Well, it was the thing of it was the statement of she has trouble bending fire. So I'm like, I wonder if something's up with her bending related to that metal that does a bunch of stuff related to bending. either A, she can't bend without it, and she's doing fake bending with it, and that's why she can't go further, or maybe it would be having some other effect.
Mm-hmm.
As far
Like-
as we know, the
Yeah, no,
metal material-
Stone Jinwei is going to narrow his eyes at you and say, "You sound a lot like the Faceless One."
The faceless one?
I don't know who that is.
It's a man I met long ago after my brother tried to kill me. We were both seeking knowledge. That's when we found the Celestial Temple for learning. And from there, we were able to create tools to help us in our ventures. He often spoke of a world that would be great if he could, gift people the ability to bend.
Well,
And
Time for a name drop, I think.
Yeah, did this faceless one have a name?
he did not. He couldn't remember it. He said he had lost his face because he had earned the displeasure of a demon, and I had told him my story on how I was trying to eradicate our world of demons.
God damn it.
He did say he was trying to find a way to restore his face, though.
Double goddamn it.
I feel like we've probably seen that face out of character.
I feel like we might have seen this person out of character.
Yep, we have.
Yep.
Is this the ringmaster? Or
The fake ringmaster.
yeah.
The Spy Master.
Spy Master. Yeah, he's gonna look at you guys and say, do you know of him?
Not for certain, but he sounds like one of the members of the Fire Nation that is currently trying to create their own, basically, super soldiers to conquer the world with.
Yes.
He's going to narrow his eyes at that. He's like, that doesn't sound like him. Though I do know he was Fire Nation. He found a angel close to his hometown, and he said he was going to return to his nation, hopefully win back his face.
Yep,
Well,
definitely him.
that
Yep.
sounds actually a lot like the one that we've come across, because he did make a deal with another spirit to do some oddities with his face, and the area he was in was the one that upset a spirit of vengeance, so...
What has he gotten himself into? In any case, I have outfitted my entire group with such material. We both were able to locate a mine of it in the desert of the Earth Kingdom. And he will give you guys coordinates if you're interested in the metal, but he's going to tell you that there's probably not much left in there.
I'm absolutely interested because I bet the Fire Nation's drilling deep there if they can.
Yeah, if they can, they're probably drilling deep there, and in all honesty, finding some to figure out what the hell we can do with it.
I strongly suspect it's the interesting ruins in the desert we heard about pretty early on in game.
Probably.
So,
Alright.
my thoughts are library, then that, assuming it's not library, then Spirit Siege, then that.
Yep.
I don't think we have time for library before Spirit Siege.
I know. It's not before Spirit Siege. It's do we be the cavalry to the Spirit Siege? I think.
I think the library is more important.
Oh no, I'd agree. I think we have to go to the library, and this is the reason why I asked him, like where his team was and whether or not we could ferry them back. But
Yeah, I feel like we need...
He's going to give you the directions to where he thinks they are. The problem is there's 3 different locations. One of which matches the mine. Another one which is an oasis in the desert. He's going to tell you that the Temple of Learning migrates to any area with intense celestial power.
Well, we actually do have a guide to take us directly to the temple. Like, we don't have to...
I kind of like nudge Rizek, like don't, just like haha.
Yeah, that one is less for out loud and more just as for the party. We don't have to test different sites.
Yep.
We can just go to the correct one.
That Chujin I think we've probably spent as much time as we can given the crisis.
Indeed.
How exhausted does he look?
It looks like this is the first time he's still standing upright, like with, poise, but this isn't worth a roll. Anybody who's actually been paying attention to him have been noticing he's been using this conversation to catch his breath.
All right. You just say, Genway, as one soldier to another, can you give me a moment to revitalize your chi? I'm not going to need it, you're going to.
It couldn't hurt, I suppose.
Why he does?
Crucible of fire. Oh, that's a 10.
Yep.
Wow.
If you're doing a transfer of energy,
Yeah, basically, I'm trying to get these two in as good shape as I can make them for the fact that they're about to go into a really dangerous fight, and then I think we leave.
yeah, he's going to say thank you, but
While you're doing that, I want to talk to Yukie.
please do.
Just as I'm helping finish bandage her up, I'm like, so how did you get hurt like this?
Well, after we dropped off Samael and Arashi, we thought we would be doing some scouting on the way back. We heard rumors in local villages on the way to the desert that things were starting to get creepy in the middle of the night. And on our way back, some of those villages, well, people were missing. And that's usually a sign of activity. We scouted around for a bit, and well, we were shocked at what we saw. We're at least a dozen. There were tons of minor spirits, several larger ones which can only be described as demons, and then there was the one that was constantly creating more. It looked like a big monkey almost, and it was just opening its giant mouth and spitting out more creatures. And then there was the archdemon, which was trying to coordinate between all of them. It was this massive, just sickening.
It's all right. Can I ask you something, Yukie? I think you're really brave to go back and fight, but
I don't want. This is one fight. I don't know if we can win. I mean, we've taken down big monsters before, but there was something almost sinister about that green blob.
wait, what? Green?
Yeah, the archdemon. It's like a spider web in a grove of trees.
Uh-oh.
Is it coming too?
I don't know. Maybe.
Where did you last see it?
She's going to point and then recoil because she pointed with her bad arm.
I'm sorry. Yes, just give me the last place you saw it, please. This might be really important.
She's going to point towards that black thing that's coming closer to you guys.
Is it the black thing?
It's not the black thing. It was in that general vicinity at the shorefront.
Okay, you have to stay away from that thing. It's much more dangerous than you know.
Oh, believe me, I know, she's going to say, looking down at her arm. Got a little too close to fire and got burned.
Did it injure you?
Yeah.
I kind of look a little horrified. I'm like, oh no.
What?
UK, if you start to feel bad, you need to take... Do we know, out of character, any way to, stop the get rid of the glowworm goo?
I don't think...
In character, you have brushed off any attempts to explain it to you because you didn't like the methodology.
Would Sagan have been able to explain that in the time when I was asking him on the boat?
What he told you on the boat, very specifically, was that Wei Jin, though his methods are extreme, has a team that could probably handle that. The removal of a spirit inside of someone.
Did we ever ask what effect that had?
Sagan would not have known side effects. Again, Sagan has an area of forte. This isn't it. Like, you guys have been claiming this group is incompetent, and their ideologies don't match up with yours, but they are very good at what they do.
I have not been claiming they're incompetent. I've been claiming they're wrong.
They're competent, they're just assholes with some misguided information.
Yes.
I feel like that's a thing that Yura would have told the rest of our group if she got it from Sagan to let... So Hotaru would know about it.
Throw me a collection in it, and it's you have retconned the past.
Fine, fuck it. Retconning the past, Yura absolutely would have found out as much as she could during that 2-week boat ride where she was mostly either writing or trying to learn things she didn't know already.
Okay, and as a result of that retcon, I will let you roll another Worldly Mythos die to see if there's anything else you could jar into information for Sagan's memory that you would then share with everybody.
I don't have that die. Can I roll Bending Lore Traveler, or my background die?
Bending Lore you may roll.
Okay. That's an 8.
Very good.
Okay. So, what you do get, what Sagan also would have been able to tell you is depending on the spirit that would be inhabiting a person, and depending on the skill of the, for lack of a better term, exorcist, they could either make a clean break, or there would be some lingering leftovers, or a little bit more might be pulled out than needed.
I will note that we know that Wei Jin did get exorcised by them and was still dripping goo, but had a very fuzzy memory.
Yeah, and that's actually going to be the exact example I was going to give you guys. There could be still physical remnants behind, but no spiritual ones. Also, they might have pulled too much out. In some cases, it could be memories. It could be.
I'm willing to put another collection on something silly, on something potentially silly, if it matters for a twist. But
what is it? You want to type?
Mostly, I just took a look at what her chi looks like. I took a look at Wei Jin's chi looks like.
So
interesting.
So Yukie's chi is all levels of screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
She can't generate her own flame, but you've seen her very skillfully manipulate fire.
Sure. Do I have any idea what this screwed up is? Does it rhyme with how Jin Wei's is messed up, and how does it compare to a typical firebender's? I'm willing to spend a collection on trying to help her.
There's no need to spend a collection on this. It's atypical of a firebender. It is not like Jin Wei.
Is it typical of a non-bender?
No, it's more active.
Is it typical to me?
Is there another bender type that...
Is it typical to Kakan's sort of chi?
Honestly, at this point, yours probably hit the entire party.
Yeah.
Is it like... Well, no, it wouldn't be like mine. Never mind.
Yeah,
Is there a way that can subtly ask Thomas if he has any idea what's going on with it?
Actually, her chi most resembles Rizik's.
Wait, what?
Her chi most resembles Rizik's.
Non-bender slash metal bender.
Like, has firebenders in their ancestry.
Well, this also could be someone who was gifted bending in a certain way.
Actually, is a Rizik pre or post becoming a bender?
Now. Rizik now.
Should we rewind for just... While Yura's healing, you're asking her, Yukie, were you always a bender? Because your chi feels a bit different.
As far back as I can remember. Like, I guess I was kind of a slow starter because a lot of kids in school could just make their own fire, and I wasn't the ideal child, but I could do things with fire that other people couldn't.
Would it be possible to get an example of what you could do with fire that other people couldn't?
She is going to take her two metal bracers and click them together to form a spark. And from that, she's going to wave her hand, and the spark is going to expand and create a giant phoenix made of flames that swirls around, flies upwards, and explodes outwards. And as it explodes, each one of its feathers fall off and then burst off into what appear to be little stars. And then those stars begin swirling around, and it looks like there are 4 dragons circling you guys. This is incredibly fine control as far as detail goes for firebending. Like,
Mike. Sorry.
Here's the question: is this a thing that is actually possible by firebend?
You're a master. You could probably do this with a lot of focus, this level of detail. She is waving a hand around. It doesn't even look like she's really paying attention to what she's doing. She's just...
So...
Man, if only we had Nara here and not Jinwei.
Well, it's the thing of, is her firebending then normal firebending, since it
Hey,
or is it a variant of firebending, which makes that control a lot easier, but
I'm
doesn't
actually
allow
wondering,
Izzy.
is she already possessed by a spirit who's not talking?
Lore? Yes, Lore?
Can I get Jasper's attention and ask him if that's normal firebending?
Oh.
Ooh, yeah! Damn it!
Yeah, the dragon
That's a
would
good
know.
one.
Oh.
Hi! I can't convey it to the party down there, but I can convey it to the other people on BB.
just throw things at us.
Ah, we've defeated the GM yet again.
Yeah, no, I need to actually think
I
about...
mean, again, I can't get that information down to you guys, but... Should I roll for this, or am I just getting it?
You're getting it. You're getting it because Jasper would not need to roll for this.
Fair
Because
enough.
he's a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Oh, he's typing it.
I already typed it.
Yeah, he typed it. Mingwell is basically just going to tell anyone else who's on BB. Yeah, old but normal.
Saw Kenzie pop in a couple times.
I got a message from her computer problems.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, it's probably just gonna be you guys right now.
So you're just gonna say, that was masterful, but also not generate yourself. We should speak more later.
Yeah, this might be the point where we need to move on.
All right. Well,
Okay. Well, fast forwarding back to the present, where she told me the glowworm thing.
yeah.
Yep, that's fair.
So I'm like, you need to watch yourself. That if you see anything like that, like green goo you've seen others have, you need to talk to Jinwei right away. I don't particularly like him, but I think he might be the only one that could help you.
Now, when you say Jinwei, you mean her boss, or you mean the other guy?
Her boss, I cannot keep them straight, Izzy.
That's why I'm asking, because I know you've been mixing them up.
Yeah, Wei Jin. Stone Wei Jin. Yeah, Wei Jin.
Stone Jinwei. Okay, her boss. That's why I threw stone in front of it to make it easier for you guys.
I did have.
It's how I've been remembering it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like, yeah, no, like as soon as that archdemon, whatever it is, shows up, like he's gonna be the first to know.
But you should stay away from that. And
Also, as you guys are talking, I'm gonna say the moon is starting to rise
Again?
rapidly. Yeah.
all right, listen, we gotta go soon. But how much do you trust Stone Jinwei? Honestly.
He can be a hard head. Stubborn, like most earthbenders, but
Do you trust him?
he's a good guy.
Do you trust him though?
I trust him.
Is he truthful?
He looks at the world in a strange way, but no, when he says he's going to do something, he doesn't lie. He's straightforward to a fault.
And he's told you everything?
About what?
How much do you know about the White Lotus?
I know he's a master and he's in charge of our group, and there are other groups all around that are like individual cells that all function and then come together for the greater good.
And do you know if he has someone he answers to?
I think so, but he said it's some old guy who hasn't contacted him in months.
You should ask him about that old guy and maybe see if he really believes in what the White Lotus actually believes.
She's gonna just narrow her eyes and look a little confused.
Ask him about Sagan, a man named Sagan, and if what he's doing really aligns with the principles of the White Lotus. Not his interpretation of the actual White Lotus. Sorry, you should. I don't want to say more. If you want to know more, try to learn from him himself. If he's as truthful as you say, hopefully he'll tell you.
I will. Thanks.
Yeah. Keep safe, okay?
Hey, Hotaru?
Yeah?
I know it's not the best of circumstances, but it's nice to see you again.
I blush a little. Yeah.
She
And it won't be the last time, right? Right?
Definitely not. She says after, pausing for an almost uncomfortable amount of time and, looking off on the horizon and seeing what's on its way towards the city.
Oh. And I think for a second, here, you know what? I want to give you something. And Izzy, I still have those 2 badger moles, right?
Yeah, I think you do. I think I left you with 2 of them.
You said I had 2. I'm going to give her one of them. These are whereas firebenders got their power and were taught by the dragons. Earthbender were taught by creatures called badger moles how to dig and move the earth. They're sacred creatures to earthbenders. I have a pair of these statues that could be seen as bonded together. I want you to have one of these.
She's gonna kind of.
That way I know I'll be able to find my way back to you.
Reminds me of an old story I heard about how Omashi was built.
Yeah,
Can always find their way back to one another. I'll keep it with me at all times. She's going to take it from your hand and then lean over and just give you a little peck on the cheek.
Oh, blush, 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 blush.
That statue will be all we find of her.
Shut up, Peggy.
I mean, it's nice that you'll have something to identify her remains with, so thank you.
Yeah,
Max.
yeah.
And then Hotaru was firebending with her face.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at all the red flags you're firebending.
It's true. I did just set up her death, didn't I?
Yep.
No. If you truly wanted to set up her death, you'd say you return with a peck on the lips.
Nope. It's not there yet.
I know. So speaking of which, as you guys are continuing this conversation, Jidway has been on an escalator of stone, and you guys are almost at the base of the wall. And he's going to wish you guys the best of luck as he and Yuki are going to cross into the giant 2-mile wide open gap and see if they can find anybody who's willing to help them. Make me an awareness check, everybody.
I'm good at that now. We still in blue?
You mean green?
Yes.
Well, if I get to use my principal, I have a 9.
Can I give someone a spyglass again, or no?
Sure.
Can I just boost Nara by holding her up for a better view or something?
Nara's not here.
Right, shoot.
Yura will happily accept getting a better view from Mingwa.
Ew.
Mingwa,
I mean, I'm on a different animal right now still, so...
yeah, I mean, you got...
Oh, wow, that's awful.
Yeah, Mingwa, Nara, Han, and, Frankto and company are up on BB. You guys did not keep pace.
Mingwal's still focused on Mingwal's too focused on making sure that the group that's talking is okay.
Yeah.
Is it alternatively Mingwa? Ooh, pretty moon.
Really, Mingwal's distracted by trying to ask Frankto what he thinks is up with the moon.
Yeah, Frankto was just going to be like, I couldn't tell you.
It was worth a shot.
So, okay, let's run down the list. Yura, what was your final number?
6. Unless I got a boost from Rizik, but...
Sure, take the +1.
Okay.
I rolled horribly.
It's a 7. I
I thought 4 was 2.
Yeah, 4 is a +2.
Oh, +2 then. This
Hey,
is just
8!
Ziggy
8 is a much better result than 7.
Hotaru, what did you get?
Yeah, 3.
So I'm assuming you just want to fail?
Yeah, no way am I
Ziggy...
Yeah, I also got a 3.
Okay, wow. Okay,
Yep.
so Yura, one thing you guys are noticing, as Stone, Jin, and Yuki are, heading back into the wall, you're noticing a figure, waving at you from the base of the wall, trying to get your attention. As you guys are, about to take off on Dragonback. And, you would recognize, Caden.
Oh.
The new waterbender that you guys, rescued from, the tank train corps.
Oh, shit!
That guy.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna point that out so we can go grab him.
Yeah. He's just gonna be waving and just like, hey, what's going on?
The city's going to be under attack. We are going to the Great Library to try and find help.
Can you take me with you?
Look at Jasper. Does Jasper accept one more person?
Jasper does not give a fuck. This is entirely up to you guys.
I say yes.
Sure, why does
we can
he
use,
want
we can
someone-
use a waterbender for proper healing.
I don't know if I can heal any, but I don't know. There's no water here to bend, so I can't really practice. But, I can't get in.
Yura's going to throw him one of her water skins and say, here's something to practice with. Get on. We have to move fast.
What does he mean, can't get in?
That's a good question. That's a good question, person who doesn't speak English.
Han's right there.
Can you
Han
not
fucking
go through-
translates for me.
Can you go through, not get into the city, or what?
He's going to walk over towards the missing section of wall and put his hand out, and you can literally see, the air in front of his hand is, crinkling, like saran wrap, preventing him from going through.
Yep, so the grain to
Yeah.
bending is totally spirit-related.
Yep, that's that makes sense.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to confirm that by poking
Actually,
it
that's
myself.
Hey, Kakan, go test a thing.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I was already in the city, so I
Yeah, you have no problem. You can go right through.
yeah.
Huh.
So whatever the procedure they did to these people, it is different from what happened to me.
Actually, hold on a minute. I forgot something. For Ziggy, roll me a self-discipline check.
I was going to say, actually, Kakad and
Discipline?
Rizik are the two main questions there for can they...
Can I use
Rizik would be
Yeah,
fine.
I'll test as well.
can I use nuclear for this since it's dealing with the energies around me?
Let me. I want to actually look through your sheet real quick.
Maybe absorption.
Oh, that would be interesting if your absorption was why you could just be like, whatever.
I will allow either of those your choice.
Okay. Self-discipline, green. Great,
Ooh.
Wonderful. I'm rolling super well tonight. You know what? Sure, I'll use a collection on this.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll still give me anything good, but yeah.
I mean, it'll give you a 3 because it's the mid die.
Yeah. Okay. Then okay. You know what? Then it's not worth it. No.
Do I have any issues with the city whatsoever?
You do not.
So yeah. Do I get anything? I am assuming not.
Well, if you again, you can choose to succeed with a major twist, or you can choose to fail. Your choice.
You know what? Sure. Major twist. Why the hell?
Okay, major twist.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly look.
Oh no.
If it'll move the plot forward, let's see what happens.
Okay, so Ziggy, 2 things are happening to you first off. So you didn't notice it first time you went through. By the very nature of your bending and how you described it, where you're constantly taking damage and and then like healing yourself. Mm-hmm. You're accustomed to pain. Mm-hmm. And it didn't bother you on your first walkthrough, whereas Nara was very itchy. This go through, now that you're actually focusing on, like, wait a minute, is something weird here? And you, like, stick an arm through and, like, pull it back and go back and forth a few times. There is a light resistance, but also it seems like something under your skin is starting to burn you a little bit. Kindly take... Major, max plus min. 4 damage. Whoop-de-frickin-do.
Okay.
And you are temporarily losing access to your nuclear and infernal.
Ooh. Okay.
Temporarily.
How temporarily?
I'll tell you when you get it back, since you guys are about to go flying away.
Great.
You'll be okay. But, like, yeah, you lose access to those 2 you effectively lose access to your bending.
Yeah, nuclear and infernal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're just like, the hell? And again,
All right.
like again, 4 damage, but just because you were focusing on it, your first walkthrough on this, you're used to that sort of stuff.
Right. Well, shit. Okay. I'll comment on that. This appears to have a greater effect on me than I had initially realized.
Yep. So, what are you guys doing?
I think we head towards the location of the actual library, see if we find the other 2 members of that group, and if we get to the library, see if we can very, very quickly get information that would be helpful.
Okay.
Minghua's ears are absolutely pinned to his skull at the idea of leaving the city behind and not helping the defense, but he will go along with the group.
Like, do we know how we could help with defense?
Fight.
I mean, I think the knowledge we can get from the library is more useful than what we can do in a fight.
Yeah, like, fight
I'm
is
not
the
going to
actual-
argue with that fact, but I do think that city is going to get at least partially wrecked if we don't at least try to stop it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like, were you guys listening to my talk with Yukie?
Yeah.
Rakan probably was.
Yeah, so I need to address that to the group. I'm like, yeah, guys, we need some knowledge here. Mother Glowworm is with that thing.
And we have no idea how to actually defeat these spirits other than force them to go down, dissipate for a little bit.
We don't know how to deal with her.
Yeah.
We need an answer to her.
We need an answer to her, and even if we don't find it, apparently 2 of them who know what's going on have been there for who knows how long. Right now, defense of a city like this is more than any group, even a group as skilled as us, can manage. Could we make a dent? Yes. What we need isn't a dent. What we need is a strike to what really matters, and none of us know what that is right now.
We don't have an actual solution to this weird problem. And this will give us a solution.
And yeah.
Excuse me.
You're just going to look at the giant gaping wound and sigh. The gaping wound in the walls and just sigh.
Mm-hmm.
They could have probably mounted their own defense too.
Like, why someone was actively sabotaging this is like a separate whole other question, unless they are just Fire Nation, but...
Doesn't have to be Fire Nation for the sabotage.
It's... From everything they said, it's simple human greed.
Well,
could be.
No sense wasting more time. We should we should get going.
Yep, whatever we're doing, let's do it quickly.
All right, I have just a single question for you guys. Obviously, you're going to be taking BB and Jasper. Of your NPCs, I believe you're definitely taking Chishiki, who is your Spirit Fox guide.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys taking Frankto, and are you taking Caden?
I see no reason why we wouldn't.
Yeah, I really don't either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if nothing else, we have to get Frankto away from the city.
Okay.
Maybe being in the library will be good for Frankto.
Well, I guess is Caden the one who their spending works due to spirit? Does Frankto have reason to believe that they are a spy for Mother Glowworm?
Mm-hmm.
Through their nature.
I can fucking chi-bend and see if I have any idea if, like, there is an outside force like that in here?
He was saying, like, the only reason he knew Wei Jin was a spy was because of the green snot.
Yeah.
You guys have not... Very specifically, I believe Minghua is the one who checked. Caden does not have green snot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so to the best of our knowledge, he is not going to be a spy for Mother Glowworm, and bringing him to the library is not going to cause a disaster.
As far as you know.
Like, we could end up being wrong there, but, like...
If we are, we are.
We are. We'll
did burn that bridge when we get there.
We did the check that we could.
Yeah. I will say, Yira, if you do a check, you would have known this because you would have been with this guy for a while. I think I said, like, a supercharged battery, effectively. It pulses and then it's off, and then it pulses and then it's off.
Great, but it's not the Mother Glowworm impurities that Jin Wei had. Or no, Wei Jin? Wei Jin is the one who was fucked up. Jin Wei is Stone Jin.
Yes. Stone Jin Wei is that guy. Like, if you did, like, an acid test, they're similar, but it's, like, different colorations on the spectrum, kind of. Like, there's definitely spirit influence in him is what you're getting. You're just not sure. It's just not Mother Glowworm.
Different flavor.
Pretty much.
Great. It's not Mother Glowworm. That's what I care about.
Okay. Second question, as you guys are flying. Are you just going straight over the river and booking it to the library, or are you taking a beeline and getting closer to actually scope out what this force looks like that's approaching the city?
Minghua is very in favor of option 2, because Minghua's player would like to get Frankto's take on what's showing up.
As long as I don't have to, like, shoot lightning in the air to keep Frankto from freaking out, I am up for option 2, but Yura is very concerned about Frankto turning into a monster on the back of our dragon.
I mean, I guess let's just be like Frankto. If you start to feel like anything bad or negative, you tell us right away, and we'll get out of here.
That's fair.
That's entirely up to you guys. Spirits don't influence other spirits.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So let's get Frankto a look and see if he recognizes any members of the party.
I'm just gonna drag you to this map. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
I mean, ideally, let's not get in range where we have to start firing railguns at each other, but, like...
Yeah, I know, but I want to show you guys them because I had all these images prepped just in case.
That's fair. The DM's like, I did the work, let me show off my sandbox.
Hold on a minute. Let's get you guys here first.
Sing the song, doo-dah,
Doo-dah. Oh no, this is fucking terrible. Oh, the doo-dah day. Can you see the map?
We cannot see the map.
Scroll down.
Scroll down, scroll down. You should scroll down. Oh, the doo-dah
How big
day.
is this map?
Fucking gigantic. Boom. Boom.
Really, Izzy. You should all.
Hey, I was right.
Yeah,
Hand is
the right part.
around.
It's
Oh, boy.
Izzy, ping us to the right part.
It's
Yeah,
hands.
there they are. It's both of them.
Hey, it's hands again. I remember hands.
Oh, by the way, Hands, as you guys are like flying close to get a look at these things, Hands is actually about the size of a person, and then as it looks up, the hands are just going to like start sprouting out, and it's going to get taller and bigger and bigger and bigger until it's taller than the tree monster you guys had originally
No,
thought.
no. We do not want to be in range of hands at all in the slightest.
I'm going to say it stops growing, but this thing is Attack on Titan. It would be eye level with the top of the wall at this point at its
Yep.
full height.
Oh boy.
And is Demon Spectre the one that's blurting out all the extra friends?
The one on the top right is blurting out extra friends, the demon spawner.
Yeah, yep, I was right. Jar Monster is the one creating all the new shit.
Yep. And you guys would also remember the corrupted spirit of shadows.
Yep.
The what, who, know, where?
This one.
Yeah, the other one.
I don't remember that one. Was that a session I missed?
That's when you guys met the sun.
Also,
that was a
hi
session
there,
I missed,
Random
which is why I don't
Heartless.
recognize
How are
it.
you doing, Random Heartless?
So those, if you guys remember from that episode with the Corruptor, those were the white spirits, which you know used to be people. Corrupted.
Yep.
Corrupted.
Ugh.
Does Franco have an idea on what some of these guys' original forms were?
He's going to look around and just be like, the only two of those that look like actual spirits that were corrupted are Sombra. And then there's Mother Glowworm. The rest of them are offshoots. They're... I don't know what they are.
Sombra's not one of your siblings, are they?
No. Sombra's a being that has influenced nature. Shadows. But think like the moon, the ocean, the sun. In that category. My family focuses more on mortals.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. So all these other things are just corruptions by spirits?
I guess, though, I've never seen anything quite like those two, and she's going to point at the tree monster and the multi-hand monster.
Bingwall's going to talk about the other things along those lines we've seen.
Also, as you guys are beelining around, well, you're on Dragonback and the moon is now out. I need to make a awareness check.
Okay.
Oh, much awareness.
What color?
Do I still have Rizik's boost?
That was a one-time one because I rolled like shit.
Oh, no,
I'm going
not
well
not
better.
you guys. I need to make an awareness check.
Oh, interesting. Then ignore my roll, then.
Can I ask Franco some more questions while you do this?
Sure.
It's like, what about the... I point to the demon spawner. What does that read as exactly?
Frank, it would be at this. He doesn't know.
Because we think that one was created by... we think that one's an amalgamation of a bunch of spirits. Somehow fused together.
And it's the one that's creating all the rest? Looks like they're trying... that all those individual spirits are trying to separate then and failing.
And that's what's creating the offshoots?
Maybe? I don't know. This isn't really my specialty.
I know. It's alright. We're just... we're in the dark too. We're just trying to figure it out too. You know?
Yeah, but Mingwell's going to thank Frankto for trying.
Thank you. It was very generous of you to help us.
He's gonna smile at that. But like as you guys approach, Mother Glowworm is like latched on between two of the tree monsters, like massive fingers like rolling around. And as you guys fly over, she's going to like expand, and that one singular circular eyeball is going to narrow as it looks at you guys.
Nope. We need to leave.
And you're going to be looking at them and say, "Ah." Or that's not the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Frankto.
That's Frankto.
Yeah, that's Frankto.
That's Frankto. Hold on a minute. God, I haven't done this one in forever.
Ah, look, everyone. We have some visitors.
I don't like this, guys.
Come down here. Why don't you meet my new family?
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
She's going to narrow her eyes, and as you guys, I'm assuming you're just turning tail.
I mean,
I'd assume we were taking like a wide circle around them to like sort of rubberneck this train wreck and then continue on our way.
Izzy, if I have the opportunity, lightning right to the face.
No.
Oh no, that's bad.
Are you sure?
We don't want them following us.
Do you
We
want
don't want
to?
following. We just want to leave.
Hold on a minute. Let me check. Let me check.
No, we're not faster than them. Never
Let me
mind,
let me
sorry.
check her reactions.
No, I was actually you are. This ignores reactions, Izzy.
Oh, it does. Let me check her innates.
Either way, you're not doing it right because we're not antagonizing them, right?
Are you shooting lightning? Yes or no?
If they are coming after us, I will use it for defense.
No, she is looking up at you guys. You guys are too far away for her to get into to touch with you.
Sorry, misunderstood which thing was going after us.
Yeah, she is going to shout at you guys.
Go! It's fine. Fly away. I already know everything about you thanks to one of your members. The only mystery I have is the one who clearly is hiding something within.
What is she talking about?
Do you want to turn around and ask her?
I'm asking.
Probably not.
I'm definitely not asking her.
It's either a lie meant to mess with us, or something we should handle after we're further away from this.
That sounds like we are just going to say nope and keep moving.
Sounds like nope and talk about it after we're, a quarter of a mile, half a mile away.
Yeah. That's all, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you guys want to talk about it on your way to the library, Jasper and BB will fly post haste. You guys will be flying for probably 18 hours straight. Well past
yeah,
sunup.
that's about what I expected.
Ouch.
Look,
So hey Bazu, what up?
we still don't have Nara here.
Fuck.
Yep, Nara and Han are napping. They are exhausted.
Fair.
Can't tap into a missing player.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Sadly.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Mingwell's just going to frown and just kind of quietly sign. I hope this isn't my fault.
I mean, she's got to be messing with us, right?
I hope so, but I did get exercised.
Look,
But I wasn't green, so I don't know.
Despite their reputation, spirits do not seem as all-knowing as they try to repute.
I literally just gesture at Frankto to support Khan's statement.
I'm surprised that that Mother Glowworm is out here on her own, because prior knowledge we had gained made it sound like she would be working with the Fire Nation. Wouldn't expect her to be so far out without any support from them.
I mean, she has plenty of support.
Without support from them.
Can move.
Well,
Who's to
actually,
say she isn't?
That brings up a problem. Was that her body? Like, was that her as her?
Because if it was, that means she did get her hands on the orb.
No, it means something. Hold on, like, can we? I think we asked Franco. Like, Franco, was that actually her? Like in the spirit, or I guess flesh, however you want to describe it.
It, that would be her form. Yes.
The hands one?
No, the green goo.
The green goo, yeah.
Doesn't that raise a problem? If I wish Bazu were awake, but how can she be possessing my father if she's out there?
Well,
Isn't the moon in the sky above us, and we also spoke with her? For
well,
sufficiently powerful spirits, it seems like they can be in multiple locations at once.
I'm kind of assuming the moon is rapidly setting again.
No, moon is up. Moon's up, up as the sun rises.
I'm not referencing that right now. I'm referencing when we spoke to the moon at night when the moon was still in the sky.
Yeah.
also related to that, do we know that her deal with your father required possession?
Suppose not.
Because the deal could have involved other things and not required possession occurring.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of assumed with Bazu it would be the same type of thing.
She's an ancient. Actually, I should have been censoring a little bit more of what Franco's been saying about her.
Okay.
He can say she's an ancient and leave it at that, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bound by possessing one form.
He's going to open his mouth and no words are going to come out.
Right. Right.
I forgot to do that earlier this session. I apologize.
I mean, I don't think he told us anything we couldn't have figured out anyway.
I'm pretty sure the only effective thing he told us was, yes, that seems like that's actually her there.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask him to say her name, just, is it that her?
Yeah. No, that's fair. Do I have an image for this guy? There we go. All right, so you guys are just booking it, beelining it for the library. I'm going to give you guys a chance to talk amongst yourselves for the several-hour journey you are taking, because Izzy needs to pee.
We probably should figure out what we want to look for when we're there.
I think we really need to look for information on how we deal with Mother Glowworm and how we might uncorrupt spirits, return them to their other aspect.
I suspect we really need to be looking for lots of different information.
We also need to
Those two are the most prevalent, though.
we need to figure out how to find the orb too.
There's find the orb. There's uncorrupt spirits. There's
Mingwall's going to point out, assuming the orb hasn't already been found.
Right, but at least we should be able to find a way to track it down.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, honestly, one thing that's relevant is someone should probably look up ways to defend against spirits that are not what the White Lotus Stone Jin does.
Yeah, as said, I feel like we need a way for returning them to
purifying spirits.
What about
actually purifying, not just breaking?
And also try to look up what the not spirit weirdness things are.
Yeah, like I'm saying, not just purifying, but also, as seen by the problems for bossing, say defending against spiritual techniques.
Yeah.
Maybe even
Also, maybe this metal. I'm not sure. That's probably a Rizzik thing, but
I'd be interested in it, but we have other priorities first. Anyone know how helpful the librarian or librarians might be on helping us find the resources we're looking for?
I don't know if there is a librarian.
mm-hmm.
We won't know
For all we
until
know,
we get there.
giant building with books.
I don't know. Maybe it's a bird or something.
That would be
Ooh,
ridiculous.
fourth wall break.
We should also probably try to figure out how spirits can like interact with humans in weird ways. Maybe we can figure out what's wrong with Caden here, or figure out the Hellfire Bender's deal.
Mingwa's going to point out that might be more weapons division than library.
We should probably see if we can figure out a way to separate those spirits too.
I forget, did Stonejin say that he had been to the library himself?
No, I think it
No,
was...
just that he sent people to go there.
No,
No, he did
I'm
say
asking-
that he had been there.
Yeah, because he said he'd been there with the faceless one.
Yep, and they both got information from there.
Alrighty, I'm back.
Just double checking to confirm, Izzy Stonejin did say he'd been at the library when he met the faceless one?
They found it together.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, you guys ready to jump back in?
Ready,
I don't know if
steady.
I should also use the bathroom, so I will be right back and be cruel and easy.
Yeah, I'm also gonna buy a break.
Yeah, let's all just be cruel to Izzy.
Okay.
Cruelty to Izzy party.
Rocks fall.
It's fine. We have earthbenders for that.
True.
Waterfalls. Everyone dies.
We technically have one, and Khan can break those apart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just turn it into water vapor.
Yeah.
You have allowed us the tools by which to thwart you. We will fail to use them.
You guys have all made decisions.
We make decisions a lot.
Yep. You guys are now at number 30.
None of us will argue that they are always good decisions or the correct decision, but decisions are made.
What? We make decisions? No. Which of us actually really makes decisions?
You no say. You no say.
Ooh, I have a pair of questions for Frankdo.
Sure.
Oh, exciting.
Faceless one, related, both of them. One, does that sound like a run-in with Ko? Two, how exactly do you get a face back from that? Sort of with a tilt towards the spirit in the valley, that the Spymaster had mentioned.
Do you
And
remember?
Frank might actually know this one.
Do you remember the name of the valley?
Out of character, no. In character, you can make me roll for it, but out of
I
character,
know. I'm totally making you roll for it if you don't remember.
I'm
it.
hideously bad with names. Anyone wanna boost me? Because Mingwa has absolutely tried to ask the rest of the party about this to get the questions more right.
Yeah,
Sure, boosting Minghua.
agreed.
That's a +2.
That's something. I will burn a +4 bonus on this.
That is a... what's 8?
3.
That's a +3 bonus.
So 2, 3, 4, and 4. Cool, that's a 13.
I guess you don't need my boost.
Oh, the Forgetful Valley? Yeah, that's where my progenitor often frequents when she comes into the mortal realm.
Who's that?
She goes by many names, but she's most commonly referred to as the Mother of Faces.
I was right in my guess that it was Ko's parent who had done that. Haha!
Mm-hmm. Enjoy that wiki article. Okay. Is everybody back from their bio?
Yes.
Yeah, basically just kind of want to keep talking to Frank Joe about that to get a little more information on Spy Master's stuff.
You're probably going to get all that information from going into the library anyway, so you're going to get a little bit of a preamble, but I'm not going to do it presently. But
extremely fair.
But yeah. Ziggy, are you back? You're the one who I haven't heard yet.
No, I'm back.
Okay, so following the general directions that Stone Jinwei gave you guys, and then with some of Chishiki, your fox friend, pointing in general directions once you hit the desert proper. As the afternoon sun begins starting to set, it actually gets a little bit brighter and warmer because it's no longer eclipsed by the moon. And at that point, from like glaring off in the distance, you almost initially imagine... Sorry, I just had a problem.
So is there actually an eclipse?
It's not a full eclipse.
Okay.
But like as the sun is setting, so it's passing through the moon, so it gets brighter. You're actually seeing the waves of heat come off of the desert sand, and off in the distance you see a structure. And at first, just because of the heat and general thirst most of you are probably experiencing, you almost assume it's a mirage. But as you keep flying closer to it, you realize it's not. It is this grand structure, an architectural marvel. And as you get closer and you can start making out the details, it is almost like a palace. Tall spires on each of the four corners. A large domed ceiling. The outside of it, etched in marble, look like there are statues of individuals, some who look human, others who look animal, others who look like some form of spirit, all holding a book or showing some kind of pose as like they are reaching for greater knowledge. And as you guys land in front of this massive archway, almost big enough for one of those spirits that you had previously looked to easily walk through without leaning over. At the very top of this is a 30-foot statue of just a man reaching forward, and there's just a book levitating off of his hand, not even attached to the building. Think Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, where like Adam is touching the finger of God, but it's a man touching a book.
I don't actually remember what the temple looked like from the outside from the show because it's been a while.
Yeah, I don't think it had that on. It did not have that.
Okay, so from the show, the canon, you only saw the topmost spire. The rest of it was buried. But very specifically, they're like, that's it. They looked at the drawing, and they're like, this is it. They just point at the very top bit. The temple is massive.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Chishiki is going to jump off of Jasper and look around and just be like, start chittering very, excitedly and anxiously. And he's going to like gesture you all in, and he's got this bound book, like just a collection of papers in between his two little fox paws, and he's trying to like wiggle his way forward on his hind legs, keeping balance as he walks his way in. What do you guys want to do?
Well, we'll follow and offer to help Chishiki carry things.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll let you take it. He's gonna put those spectacles back on his nose, so they're almost dipping off, and he's going to very quickly scamper on inside, and you all follow. I'm going to assume that Jasper and BB with PCs that are not here are going to be waiting outside.
I mean, unless you are going to collapse the library on us or something.
I mean, if you want to bring any of the NPCs you brought with you in, you tell me. Are you taking Frankton in? Are you taking Kimben in? Are you taking Jasper in?
I don't really see a reason not to take them in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you taking...
Unless they want to stick around outside.
They have no preference. It's up to you guys. Are you taking Thomas in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see no reason why not.
Is Thomas still in a cart?
I mean, probably for ease of moving in, but he can be outside of the cart if he wants.
That's entirely up to you, Sean, because he's your...
Like, I don't think if Thomas is fine being outside of the cart up and doesn't like the cart maintained with everyone else, then like, yeah, Thomas will be out of
He'll probably come out of the cart then and just be like by your legs. But like very shyly. Also, can everybody hear me? Because Sean was roboting, and I'm not sure if it was him or me.
Yeah,
it was just Sean.
It
was just Sean.
Okay.
I was worried too.
Okay. So as you all enter, you are at the ground level, and looking up, you just see like marble walls, pillars. Like looking up, it almost looks like the inside of this building is higher than the outside would suggest. Like you just look up and you see bookcases upon bookcases climbing literally to the ceiling, and you can't even see the ceiling from where you are all perched at right by the entryway. And as you walk in, there's going to be a puff of smoke, and you're going to hear, "Woohoo! Welcome to the Great Library, Wang Shitong. I am Wang Shitong."
I do not remember this spirit sounding
Yeah.
like show.
Yeah. Did Wang Shitong get replaced with Toucan Sam? What?
So
Follow your notes.
this is what you guys are being greeted by.
Oh boy.
Where do we see what we're being greeted by?
In character.
Where is it?
In
Oh,
character.
it's in Discord.
Really?
That looks different.
Why?
Because he hasn't fallen to negativity yet, guys.
That's
Does that other form count
also
as-
I don't. Wang Shitong,
I'm not
I
sure
don't
that
think
other
Wang
form
Shitong
counts
actually
as
fell to
negativity.
Yeah, he was just fed up with people.
Yeah. Welcome to the Great Library of Wang Shitong. I am Wang Shitong. Knowledge should never be censored. Please come in and peruse my vast collection of knowledge and spread it to the ends of the world. For knowledge is truly power. Hoo-hoo.
Are you saying that other form counted as corrupted?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't
mean,
think
if you
that's
think
true.
about its overall behavior, then
I mean,
Yeah.
here's the thing, guys. You have been assuming corrupted immediately means hostile to the point of physical violence. Not always
Yeah,
the case. Not always the case.
Fair.
I'm just gonna. That it is one. Is there any organization to your great amount of knowledge? For we have but very few years to peruse it with.
Oh, of course. Everything here has been cataloged by my many wonderful assistants. Chishiki, welcome back! It's been so long! And Chishiki's going to, smugly, waddle forward and, point to Minghua with the manuscript in your hand.
I'm suddenly going to start eyeing the manuscript like it's a live bomb.
Yeah, he's just going to look at you like, "Oh, excellent! I am Wang Shitong, he who knows 11,106 things. If any of you have new knowledge to share, if I get 5 more things, we're going to have a little party, because I will have one. Get it? We all win when one of us wins. Woohoo!
I'm going to gently set the thing down and then tell him, Mother Glowworm is currently in this side of things.
Actually, he would understand you.
Yay!
I mean, if he wants more knowledge, I can give him a lot of knowledge related to engineering, metallurgical techniques, and things like that I'm pretty sure are relatively recent and probably haven't made their way over.
Roll me a science check.
Would it be Principle of Discovery or Principle of Gearhead here?
Either or, you can get a principle out of this.
I'll do discovery, I guess. And do I want to spend a plus? I'll spend the +1 I have.
Minghua, to answer your texted question earlier, the phases are shifting.
Okay. Like I said, just curious.
What?
I think we'll keep that 8.
Okay, you getting an 8?
Yep.
He's going to look at you and say, "Oh, that's very exciting knowledge. Thank you so much. I can now crank the things up I know to 11,109. I knew most of those. You'd be surprised how many times people from your nation love to come in here and peruse my vast collection."
I would not
Out
be.
of character, that's slightly concerning.
What kind of new knowledge to you, Mr. Wan Chi-Tong?
Oh, and anything new and exciting that's either going on in the world. It could be technological, scientific, historic, social, philosophical, or artistic.
I think for a minute. Wonder if I have something with art I could give him.
Mr. Wan,
Please.
I suspect that what I have been writing is not actually all that new to someone who has as vast an array of knowledge as you do, but I think it important considering some of the knowledge that has been lost in the modern day. Yura's going to offer the long treatise on firebending that she's been working on literally the entire campaign plus.
Is this your only copy of that?
Oh, hell no.
Okay. He's gonna be like, "Oh, excellent! A complete compendium of traditional firebending things. I will put this away. I will savor this, and I will put it with the rest of the collection I have from firebending and the Fire Nation. It's quite a vast collection."
That there is. I'd hoped there was a significant amount more to discover.
Well, I don't know if it's new, but I can talk to him about what I've learned about art from my background.
Mingwa is going to mention, talk about lava bending.
Actually, boy, that's the thing I wanted to learn more about while I was here. Thank you. Just like, Mr. Wan Chi-Tong, do you know anything about lava bending?
Oh, well, yes, there's actually a complete, not a very large section, but we definitely have a shelf dedicated to it.
Oh, so there's not much knowledge on it?
Not very much, no. It's very rare.
Do I have a rock with... I'm just going to pull up a rock and turn it into lava in my hand.
Fascinating. Please watch the alabaster marble.
No, I'm like, it's all right. I have more control of it than I used to. And I just kind of re-solidify it back into rock.
Very nice. Also, Chishiki is going to continue to headbutt Minghua to present his manuscript.
I set it down on the floor so that I could assign, so Chishiki can just grab it.
Help, Mr. Wan Chi-Tong. I don't have anything written, but I could at least provide a narrative of my experiences with lava bending and what I understand of its principles.
Oh, that would be so appreciated. I mean, I am welcome to anything you would like to contribute to the library, but it's not required, of course. Knowledge should be free for everyone.
Oh no, Mingwa's going to sign. Hotaru was involved in killing Avatar Roku.
Oh,
You're just gonna blab that, are you?
Yup!
I don't... Do I understand you?
Yeah, you would know Minghwa's sign.
Enough at this point.
You would know Minghwa's sign language at this point.
I'm just I'm like...
The fuck?
Betrayal.
I'm immediately going to say it wasn't your fault. The Fire Nation's full of assholes. Blame the weapons division.
I suppose that is a piece of knowledge that would not be widely known, isn't it?
Oh, that's
It's okay. We love you even if you're 70.
Oh, that's not widely known?
Wait, did
Meanwhile, just like freezes at that idea.
Yeah, based off the other thing that was said of that the Fire Nation actually regularly has people come by here, they probably are regularly getting people from the Experimental Weapons Division coming and giving some information to maintain good relations, but also getting whatever knowledge they can from here.
Well, shit, I hate it.
Like,
I want just you knew I did that? Did you know who I was?
I mean, I didn't know who you were as a person, but I definitely heard from I forget his name. Tall fellow, long white coat, spiky hair.
Is he describing the Spy Master?
No.
No.
Is he describing Director Kresh?
Yes.
Or one of the... Oh.
He's describing Director Kresh.
He's describing Director Kresh.
How does Director Kresh know that?
That Hotaru killed Avatar Roku?
He was involved.
He was involved with it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's true. Yeah.
There's no surprise there.
Yeah, no, like, he's gonna look at me like, he used to show up every couple of months. Hasn't been over in a while.
Miguel's just going to start signing a litany of insults vaguely towards the guy and the weapons division as a whole.
yeah, I guess that means that any of my discoveries are probably already marked here, except for this one. I will metal bend very briefly in my hands.
Now that is something new.
Wait, what?
Metal bending is new.
Ooh.
Tell me
how you knew I could do that at this point, right?
How did you find out you could do this skill?
Mingwa points at Thomas.
I was going to let Thomas decide if he wanted to say it himself, but yeah.
Look, Mingwal's blabbing, okay?
Yep.
Blabbing so much.
Apparently,
Someone has decided that secrets should not be secrets any longer.
Mingwal has decided, this is an entity who can be trusted. They get to know everything.
I mean, to be fair, that's probably the type of thing that will keep the spirit positive. So,
yeah.
Also,
as well, but he's basically treating this spirit in a very similar way that he treats Sagan, as in just like, what are secrets? This person will know what to do with them.
Yeah, no, he's going to be like, oh, fascinating. He's going to look up, hello, Lion Turtle, what's your name? You know you're on the endangered species list, and to qualify for being an endangered species, that means that the majority of your species, and he's going to go into the exact, technical definition of what it means to be
I will probably cut that off when he starts getting into the technical description and say that this is Thomas.
Welcome, Thomas.
And he's just going to say, oh, this is wonderful. Have you all ever been to the library? Have you all been to a library before? Or is this your first time?
I've been to a library before.
A library, not this library.
same.
She's like, well, I strive to make sure that everything within this library consists of all the knowledge everywhere else. That's why I never stay in one place for too long.
Makes sense. Would you be able to help us find the information we're looking for? So we can...
What is it that you seek? I would love to help you. Or rather, if I can't help you, I'm sure one of my Shishiki, would you mind helping these fine people? And as, Shishiki is finally going to pick up this frickin' manuscript and hand it to Wang Shitan. She's like, first edition, thank you. And as he lifts up this manuscript, he's going to look at it, and it's like his hands are reading it from cover to cover in the matter of seconds. You can tell because he has this very jolly expression, and then it's just twisting to ew, what? What? Oh no. Expression on his face. He's like, Shishiki, you shouldn't have. I will file this away with the other fiction novels ASAP. And then Shishiki's going to chitter a little bit. He's going to say, non-fiction. Okay.
Wasn't this fanfic that Shikiki was writing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. As Jashiki,
It's very much fiction.
yeah, as Jashiki turns around and like looks very proud of himself, you're just gonna see Wong Shitan like look over towards a potted plant and just drop the manuscript inside of it and then kick it away.
That's the appropriate response.
Good.
I mean,
He can't even.
I put a lot of work into it, even if it is small.
Look, at least Wanchiton didn't give it a literal flame.
I mean, even smut has its place.
Yep.
Yes, in the trash.
Yeah.
Anyway, you are welcome to peruse my vast stores of knowledge however you see fit. If you'll excuse me, though, I do have visitors who are requesting my attention.
Miguel wants to be shown to the other visitors.
Would those happen to give descriptions of the two guys?
Oh, yes, that's two of them. Well, a guy and a them.
Who else?
Oh, young woman. I didn't actually catch her name coming in. Very businesslike.
Can you
I want to meet that one first, because I'm curious.
Can you describe her?
Long dark hair, white uniform, carries a sword.
Does that ring a bell to any of us?
Should ring a bell to Yira.
Of course it does.
Now, looking up at our judging guest, are there any laws or rules in your place about
Violence.
No, well, okay. I would not be the one starting the violence in this case, but
Oh, no violence. This is a place of learning, not for fighting. What would happen if someone was to damage these precious manuscripts? After all, I am Wan Shitong, he who knows 11,110 things.
exactly. I just wanted to be certain, and as our gracious, could you please guide me to this other guest?
He's going to clap his two wings together and another fox spirit is going to wander up.
Yeah,
You're immediately going in that direction.
I would. Sorry.
We probably should make good use of our time. I hate to say it, but we should probably split up and look for the information while some of us deal with the other guests here.
Some of the information I'm looking for is likely going to be in the same area as Urashi and Samai. So
It does seem pretty likely.
Yeah.
because I'm looking for things for purifying spirits, how would you deal with the mother glowworm, and a way to switch what aspect a spirit is.
Okay. If you guys are splitting up, I have to drop this into rounds. First off, how are you guys breaking yourselves up?
I'm going with Rizek.
Okay, Minghua and Rizik are going to be doing knowledge stuff. Where are you guys?
I mean, really, I want to be poking around with the Red Lotus, which is likely to be right near Rizek.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
I can give topics if someone has. I don't have anything I'm planning to look up because there's a long list.
Kakan wants to ask Wang Shitang if they can point them to what Director Kresh was studying via spirit implantation.
I'll go help Kakan with that because I want to know a lot of what Kresh has been doing and see if anything that I can do is tied into that.
Oh, he's actually in the the research that he provided.
Bossy, is he?
Is he?
No. I know. I'm thinking. Hold on a minute.
Well, I'm gonna get tea while you think.
Where are you going here? Are you going to confront person you know?
That seems to be
I'm gonna go talk to person I know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. I have split you guys into the appropriate things. Hotaru and Kakan. You're gonna go. You are asking him to take you to whatever Director Kresh was looking into.
Yeah, and possibly if he's submitted some of his research here, then that would be good too.
Okay, those are two very separate areas. Which one do you go to first?
The thing regarding spirit implantation.
Okay, that's what he provided.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that one.
Okay. Who would like to go first? Also,
If Yura's not here, then we can do it.
okay.
Yeah, why don't we go first?
Okay. Also, questions. Are you guys... Who is taking NPCs? You guys have Kinben, Frankto, etc.
We probably shouldn't be dealing
let's
with...
take- Let's take Kimben, because he's the one that might have gotten implanted.
Sure, yeah. That's
Okay, you two are first.
I'm going to say Mingwa and Rizek do not take Frankto.
Do we want to take Frankto then? I don't know if Yura wants to bring anyone. So if
Yura does not particularly care if anyone follows, but she's not bringing anyone.
Mingwa is very much of the opinion no one spirit touched goes near the Red Lotus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then why don't
should you guys take Thomas as well then, or?
That's
Well, Thomas isn't strictly a spirit or spirit touched, so that's more.
I don't think the Red Lotus can tell the difference.
Yeah, I don't think that's
fair.
True.
Okay.
We could take Thomas.
I mean, they can just peruse by the upper area for other stuff if they don't go with you. That is an option too. They don't have.
That is true.
They don't have to go with you. I'm just asking if you want them there.
Why don't we have Thomas and Frankto kind of peruse and keep each other safe?
Okay.
Okay.
So, Kakan and Hotaru, you guys for your green.
Well, remember we're taking Kaden Kichi. What's his name?
Oh gosh.
Kaden.
No, I need to go double check my notes now. So
I
believe Kaden, Kaden.
Yeah, we're gonna take Kaden because he might be able to give some insight.
Yep. Sure. So the three of you follow. I'm going to say you guys follow Chishiki because he'll be your dedicated guide for now that he's back home.
Cool.
He takes you to an area. It's actually a subsection of the Fire Nation information. As you guys are walking past bookshelves, every bookshelf has got one of those plaques on the side of it, which specifies either historical or inventions or each category. Each bookshelf has its own category which has its own moniker. Everything here is flawlessly categorized. To the point where you're seeing a couple of fox spirits running around, if there's a book out of place, they're quickly swapping them, and all the corners on the bookshelves are pristine and crisp, and it's very organized to almost a military extent.
This is quite the library.
Could read books here their entire life and still only go through a fraction of it.
Chishiki is going to chitter in agreement. You guys find some research notes about Fire Nation experimentation to give people bending powers.
Okay. What's it say?
I need a check from you guys. Give me insight or argue something else.
Well, what are we trying to do here?
So here's the thing. These are actual official research notes. A good chunk of them have those black redacted lines on them. So while it is new information, there is some information on them that is not there. What I want is a check to see if you can grab enough stuff and actually piece together what it is going on. Despite the redacted sections.
Fair enough. All right, let's see here.
Let's see. Can I use nuclear on the basis of my understanding of my own abilities?
You know what? I will allow that because that is the source of this question. So yes.
I guess alertness just to see if so I can catch anything that might be easily missed.
Yeah, and also
and green still.
You're in green, and go ahead.
I'd like to use. Is this an overcome, Izzy?
This is an overcome.
Let's use principle of great power, please.
Sure. Can I use principle of? Can I use principle of exorcism since it's dealing with spirits?
Sure. Also, Caden is going to boost you both. You both get a +1 to this roll.
Nice.
I'm going to be using awareness and alertness. I'm trying to really kind of study this and spot anything I can within the pages.
Sure.
Sweet.
11.
Yep.
8.
Definitely going to use a collection.
No, it's an 8. You used a principal.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, like you both passed into completely succeeds. So, first off, Kakan, and well, actually both of you, Kakan and Hotaru. As you're shuffling through these papers, you're kind of shocked that there is this much information about the Fire Nation Research Division squirreled away on this shelf. And, it's from different researchers, but at the bottom, signing off on the project as approval, you'll always see the names of Director Kresh and General Sakam. On every single one. As far as the actual research into this matter, you're not sure exactly what or who or how. Those have been redacted, but the general sense of what has been going on has been they have been attempting to take non-bending soldiers, and then once the war began, POWs, and finding ways to graft spirits into them to give them a way to bend. This was difficult at first because they were having a complicated time with the initial procedures. Not a lot of people survived. And when they started, they were actually using a spirit who had given up its mortality, or its immortality, so it could remain in the mortal plane. But it was a deceased spirit.
So it was the subject 0 they experimented with.
The subject 0 that they there were several subject 0s on the human end that did not survive. But there was enough of the cadaver of this spirit that they were able to do several infusions. And it appears as though with that particular cadaver, because of how viscous and volatile it was, they had 2 success cases.
Is one of them Kakan?
There is no name attached to it, but it is someone who could apparently manipulate matter on an explosive and microscopic level.
Definitely.
Who's the other one?
A soldier that used a higher density of the material, was not expected to survive and was literally used as a guinea pig.
What happened to them?
Survived is what's listed at the bottom of the sheet.
Nothing else?
Are there dates?
Are there dates? Hold on. Numbers.
I mean, literally, is this just does this line up with Kakan's own timeline?
The first one, which was considered the success, which you guys can assume is Kakan. Kakan, you would know from the date that it's you. It took place 8 months ago. Does that sound right?
Yeah, about that.
The second one, where they were trying a higher infusion of it, because the cadaver was almost at an end, happened about 3.5 months ago.
Have we been doing stuff? When did this campaign start?
About 2 months ago.
Okay, so this would have been before game no matter what.
This would have been before game. This would have been around the time you got broken out.
Well, that does mean what I was told was true at the time, that I was the only survivor, but clearly they kept working on it.
Who's this other one then?
Now
Excellent question.
Now, as you keep looking at notes, there are then other discussions of theoretical, of course, of finding live spirits that have not expired, and seeing what would happen if you incorporate them into a human body.
I mean, that's
Living spirits.
basically Nara.
Yeah, that is basically Nara, but forcibly doing so.
Yeah.
In this case.
Yeah,
That probably ends not as well.
I imagine not.
The research notes say that these subjects turned quite volatile, and they were giving off an incredible amount of energy. And then it's, got like a reference number on it. See alternate power source, volume, blah, 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 which is a thing you cannot find in this section.
Well, we might want to follow up on that, but that's probably what Caden is.
Yeah.
The alternate power source.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. With that, I'm going to leave you guys. Who would like to go next? Rizik and Minghua or Yira?
Sure.
Okay, Rizik and Minghua.
Yeah, let's do it.
You guys are going to the Red Lotus.
Yep, we're wanting to get spirit related information from there.
Okay, what specifically are you looking for? Well, better question. Are you trying to run into the White Lotus members here, or are you trying to look for this information?
Let's look for the White Lotus member. Should we do information first or White Lotus members first?
I mean,
I
sort of feel like White Lotus members first because we can exchange information with them.
That's
and
fair.
They might already know some of what's wanted, so maybe we can work together.
Yeah, let's find the Lotus members first.
Okay. I don't actually remember what voices I did for these two.
That's okay.
Okay, yeah.
It's your own fault, Izzy.
Yeah, I put too many NPCs
Just give
into this
Ziggy
game.
all the lines for Arashi, and me all the lines for Samael, because they were other prior characters.
Yeah, no. So you see, you're led to a. This is the one section of the library that is not actually well kept at this point, because it looks like Samael and Arashi have this almost banquet level table, and there are probably close to 100 books, either stacked up or opened up, and so they can quickly go from one page to another. Arashi is currently sitting in a large chair and has a big scroll unrolled in front of him, and is just carefully looking over what it is saying. Well, Samael is flipping through a book with strange symbols in it that you really can't quite tell, but you're assuming it's the same kind of runes he's been practicing or has been using in the past.
Okay. I will go... Hello. Good to see you, both of you, again. Arashi, I did have somewhat favorable relations.
Yeah, you did. No, Arashi's going to look up and say, "Ah, Rizik! So good to see you again. How are you?"
Well enough, I suppose, considering everything else going on. But I do need to warn you that Ba Sing Se is about to be under siege from spirits. Corrupted spirits by Mother Glowworm.
Mother Glowworm. He's going to look over at Samael, who is going to put down the book he's currently reading and run over to a shelf and just quickly scan over with finger. We read something about that particular spirit a few days ago.
Mingwa's just we'd love to share information.
We would love to share information, anything that can help us deal with Mother Glowworm, and anything that could potentially help revert the spirits that she or others have altered and corrupted. Those, I think, are highest priorities with the current situation. Anything you have to share with.
You're speaking, of course, of internally balancing the spirit with their positive and negative aspects.
I believe so. I will admit I'm still far behind where you are on this topic.
Yeah, Mingwell was just going to sign, I'm here to help grab books.
Side note, did he just call them spirits and not demons?
He called them spirits last time.
Okay,
Yeah, Rashi was the more reasonable one to talk to, with the potentially more accurate understanding of how spirits work.
That's why he's here.
Yeah. Like...
He's going to look at you and say, that's one of the things we've been trying to research since we got here. I'm... The spirit known as Mother Glowworm we perused into and a while ago, and I believe it is similar to the spirit in the Forgetful Valley, or the spirits of the ocean and moon. There is no recorded dichotomy within them. I'm not sure because of how ancient they are, I don't believe they can be darkened or lightened. At least, not from anything that's been documented thus far. It's rather peculiar. He's actually going to pull you over and point out a book here. And point out that there appear to be different lineages of spirits. There are the spirits who are focused on material things. There are things that spirits that focus on the abstract. And then there are some spirits that focus on both mortals and animals, and others that are focused on elements. So examples of these, anything that is in the natural world that is a force to be reckoned with would be the sun, the moon, the ocean, the earth itself, the forests, etc. Things that are more abstract in nature would be things, if you would believe it, some spirits might be powerful enough to have control over memory, space, time, what we would consider an immortal soul. There are others that focus on individuals. And every time one of these ancient spirits, I guess in a sense, splits up themselves, procreates, starts a family in some sense, the aspects that were once very simplified become more complex. And each of those complex ideas is passed down to the next generation. And those are a dichotomy.
Interesting. So... So it's only the ones that came later that have the dichotomy aspect.
From our research,
as they got more, they get more complex and match more of what happened after mortals came to be.
Well, indeed, it's unusual because from what we've seen before, and again from what the reason we were following Jin Wei was because he said he was on a crusade to fight against demons or corrupted spirits. But just because a spirit might be doing something bad does not necessarily mean that they have, by their nature, been corrupted. A spirit will always act within its nature.
And another half of the dual aspect might not necessarily be corrupted as much as it is less hospitable to humanity.
And Mingwell is going to point out that if Mother Glowworm's that old, then there's no corruption, it's just being itself.
Yeah.
Then that's what we're afraid of. And actually, at this point, Samael is going to return with a book and be like, also, we found this out. Even these lesser spirits, the children of ancients, and even like farther down the line of descendancy, they can, in theory, give up what makes them a spirit, take on a mortal form, or fuse with a mortal being. And there's some indication that that can make both the individual and the spirit temporarily more powerful, but then it means that that spirit will die.
Good thing Nara's sleeping right now.
Mm-hmm. Like,
can they go back to? Can they will themselves to taking back what makes them a spirit, or leaving and going somewhere else?
Once they've accepted this mortality, there's no going back. However, there are several spirits, the older ones, that can walk among us without giving up their so-called immortality. And if they are slain on this plane, they just revert back to the spirit world. But if you would, in the same sense, slay them in the spirit world, then they would be permanently gone. It's interesting.
Sorry, go.
No,
and that it's interesting, and it's in its own way somewhat problematic with how we would deal with some of these spirits like Mother Glowworm.
Mm-hmm.
Though I do believe have evidence of a spirit that entered a pact, pseudo possession with a human that then later left that human.
And we're pretty sure that person made a pact with a different spirit later.
Yes. Not necessarily a possession one, but at least some agreement or pact.
It might be an aspect of the spirit then. If they didn't give up their immortality, so to speak, that just might be something they can do. Again, okay. Spirits have different levels of magic. Like, there's even one reference here that the Avatar is, we all know, the bridge between the mortal and spirit worlds, but it's saying here that the Avatar is both spirit and mortal. And there's another passage over here which is specifying that if a spirit is born in the mortal realm, then they will forever be mortal, even if they have an extended life time. And based off of the location where you are born, you will look vastly different. It's very fascinating. It's just, well, if what you're saying about Mother Glowworm is true, it's not very helpful to the immediate issue that we have.
Yeah, still interesting to know, and I wish had just time to continuously research, but I guess we're going to have to focus on topics, both things that can help with Mother Glowworm and things that can help with what Mother Glowworm has done to other spirits, or what we've done to other we as mortals as a whole have done to other spirits.
Indeed. Yeah, Semiel's even going to chime in that it's like Mother Glow. There's not much written about Mother Glowworm prior to the death of Father Glowworm. It seems like she was very content to remain in the spirit world. But then when the father died, all bets were off.
Do we know what she's a spirit of? Or just her name?
Wasn't it like motherhood, matriarchy, and things like that?
Hold on a minute.
Or do we not have the... I feel like we got some answer on this before, but I'm not sure how much we had past mother, matriarch, etc. being close to what she was.
I was looking through my notes. Sorry.
Okay.
You did not get the full scope. Samael will flip to a page and point at it, and it'll have a rough ink sketch of the creature that you saw prior, which you know to be Mother Glowworm. And it is Mother Glowworm, spirit of matriarchy, tradition, and family values, compared to Father Glowworm, the spirit of the patriarchy, birthright, and inheritance. And it's specifying that these two were a mated, united pair.
Okay.
What happens to a spirit's concepts when the spirit dies?
Oh, Samael's gonna be like, oh, that's easy. Spirits. If a spirit dies, either there has to be a new spirit that takes up their place. Otherwise, everything about that spirit will be thrown off in our world.
And since those things still exist, we can assume that they some other new spirit.
Well, it's not that it stops existing, it's that things start getting weird, is how I interpreted that.
Oh.
I mean, that's true. I mean, if you look at how the Fire Nation has been working itself the past couple of years,
Yeah.
I mean, fathers are not really raising their children. Birthright and inheritance are constantly being squabbled over, and whoever has the most power is seizing it.
And they seem to think that, oh, my birthright is the whole world, because fuck y'all.
What the goat gorilla said.
Yeah, that... There was a... That does mean that things would be thrown out, but there was, how long was it after Father Glowworm died to when this happened, though? Wasn't that, like, almost 100 years?
No. Was one Avatar life cycle.
Which could, given how
Which
long
can
avatars
be
tend to
100 years.
live...
Oh god, alright, hold on, let me see how old Avatar Kyoshi was when she died.
I thought it was Kurug who killed Glowworm.
No, he was the one who got their sacred orb. Kyoshi's the one who finished him. Kuruk was unable to finish the job, which is what left Kyoshi holding the bag. 230 at death. Okay, it was a few centuries.
Yeah, okay. I updated my notes because I'd gotten it wrong. And I hope you don't mind that I'm recording this all in character. It just seems important enough that we want a record of it.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Appreciate.
Yeah, no, I noticed that and I'm like, good. You should take notes on these. This is the library is as info dumpy as you guys are getting, but you have to be the ones asking the questions.
Yep.
Quick question. Just not related to what they were saying. How long ago was like the Fire Nation started attacking and like destroyed the Air Temple?
I think we decided like 20-ish years ago.
It's however. Hold on, I actually have.
I think it was 20 years ago.
2025. Let me see. It is currently the year is AG 20. So 20 years ago was when the air temples were attacked. They started their conquest and colonization of the Earth Kingdom in secret back in the time of Avatar Roku. So you can add like another 60 years prior to that.
I'm mostly interested in when they did the Air Temple massacres.
20 years ago.
Okay, never mind. Horrible thought disproven. Good.
I would love to know what the horrible thought is so I can expand on it.
No, that's okay.
You won't.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to put you guys on hold for a bit, and Yira.
Here comes the RP stuff.
Yo.
So yeah, you're led actually to the to a basement level. Oh, excuse me. Of the library. And, yeah, you see your sister, Kaori. Kind of just like leaning against one of the bookshelves, not even reading anything, just like impatiently tapping her foot. Are you trying to sneak, or are you...
Oh no, like when Yura sees her, just like, awful waste to spend so much time in a place with as much knowledge as you'd want, waiting for something.
She's going to look up, and just like a smile is going to creep on her lips, and just be like, Yura, how have you been, sis? I'm just biding my time right now.
You know, being on the run, going back to the site of probably my worst mistake, fixing some things, finding out quite a few people are even worse than I thought they were.
Oh, I'll bet. Did you hear? Our nieces are getting married.
I got the invitation.
Oh. Isn't it going to be great? We're going to be like royalty. I mean, well, at least half of us are, because, you know, she's marrying the prince. Other Scarface guy, he was cuter before.
Whoops.
But what brings you
One of
here?
them is probably going to be happy, and the other one is going to get, well, sucked into exactly what the two of us are knee-deep in. Or is it waist-deep now? I can't really tell anymore.
You're in well over your head, sis. You left. There are so many cool things that are getting pumped out of the Fire Nation right now, you wouldn't believe.
Let me see here. Fake avatars. Use of people as batteries. At least 3 new versions of firebending than what used to be there, but all of which seem to cause incredible pain to people.
Make me an insight check, Yura.
I'm spending another +2 on this. I get the chance to be catty. I'm going to be fucking catty.
Yeah.
We in green or yellow right now?
This is green because this is only your first round.
Oh, wonderful. I get to reroll some of these things. I would call Principal Fire if I could, but still a 7 if I can't.
Nah, 7 is fine. She's just going to look at you and just be like, oh, Yura, you really are behind if that's all you know. She didn't even bat an eye. Like, she was maybe a little surprised that you knew about all that stuff. But, you know, she clearly knew about every single one of those things.
Oh, I'm not surprised by this. Oh, no, let's see here. Following someone who came here themselves in hope of doing better and instead fell to worse. Following a psychopath who'd rather rule over a land of ash than accept that there might be plenty that he may not be able to grasp, or even one who would hurt people purely for the sake of hurting them.
Now, trust me, sis. Everybody that is getting hurt either has a reason to be getting hurt, or it's for the greater good.
The greater good.
I mean, the Fire Nation is the greatest nation. The Earth Kingdom can't hold a candle to us. The Water Tribes are in complete disarray. And the Air Nomads, well, they should have waved a white flag.
So you knew about them too, did you?
I know about them now. It was over 20 years ago. Can't change the past. Just got to accept it and move on. We're at war. You know that. And war has casualties.
You're just going to get close. Like, do you really think I didn't know that?
Honestly, Yira, I expect it to be written on your tombstone.
Well, there's any justice in the world, honestly. None of us are even going to get that. But no. Fire Nation, honestly, I can't say you're wrong. Life is really better there.
Mm-hmm.
After seeing the best defense the Earth Kingdom can muster, I sort of question how hard it was at the beginning. But
Well, that's just it. It's never hard. It's too easy. Like,
tell me
honestly,
this, Curry. Are you spreading prosperity right now?
can't spread prosperity while you're in the middle of the war. Have to win the war first. Then you can spread prosperity. Right now, funding and technology, because of the war effort, is higher than it's ever been before. As soon as the war's over, everything we've developed, everything we've done is going to be put to civilian applications. And that leads to a brighter future. I thought you knew that.
Built on... Brighter future built on, let's see, torture, destruction of history, destruction of culture, not just of the Earth Kingdom, the Air Nomads, and the Water Tribes, but our own.
We're not savages, Yira.
Oh,
Those
no,
those are antiquated thoughts and terms. We're trying to move forward into the future. Got to focus on progress.
Okay, wait. What's the last play you saw? The last ballad you heard performed that wasn't a war song?
Believe it or not, I actually saw The Rising Phoenix 2 weeks ago.
Do I know what that is out of character? Or in character?
Is that what the fake circus was putting on?
No, that's Love Amongst Dragons. The Rising Phoenix, think like a think the Fire Nation equivalent of Hamlet.
So you saw a show that was originally written 150 years ago.
Classics sometimes never die. If it withstands the test of time, it deserves its place.
Oh, certainly, but in its day it was hardly a classic. It was one amongst several, and all I'm seeing now are just repeats of the classics.
Well, some people like the repeats. It comforts them. You gotta... Just remember this, the fact that it survived this long among all of the repeats, which will probably fade with time, is because it's a classic. It has literally become immortal. And that's what we're doing in a sense. We're leaving our handprint on the world, claiming immortality through the history books. And we'll be known as the ones that brought a shining light to all corners of the globe. Now, granted, some people will think that we brought that torch and we used it to light every place on fire. And that might be true for the next decade or two. But after that, centuries down the line, people will be grateful for everything we did, everything we endured, and everything that the world went through. Because we'll be that much closer to perfection.
Nora, you're a woman of progress and science, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do to grow crops in the areas that have been conquered under the modern methods?
That's not my specialty, and you know it. I don't.
You're not so much of an idiot to not think about it. I barely paid attention to science, and even I noticed the problems.
Hey, sometimes when crops get overgrown, a forest fire is very cleansing.
Oh, certainly. If that was what we did. I spent a year trying to sow simple wheat and rice into gray fields. The Earth Kingdom is known to have the most fertile land, and yet we got a quarter of the yield that we would have expected back in the Fire Nation.
I'm sorry. I just never thought I would see the day where my big sis was admitting to letting things get a little too out of control, even for her. You overextended if that's the case. You always claim control and don't burn any more than need to, and it seems like you went overboard.
You're just going to briefly glance over to the books on the shelf behind her.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly? What titles are there?
Hold on a second. So again, she's like in the lowest of low levels on... Yeah, fuck it. She's in the lowest levels of the library right now, like below the ground floor area. You look behind her, and you actually see a fox sliding a manuscript in there, which looks shockingly similar to the one that Wang Shitong threw into the potted plant upstairs.
I'm trying to remember which one he threw into the potted plant.
Smut.
Smut.
Chishugi's smut.
Ah. You said something pretty funny there.
Mm-hmm.
That I was the one who was careful to not overextend, to not burn too hard. You thought, or really asked yourself the question of, what if I didn't overextend? What if, relative to many others, that was the best we managed considering the amount of damage we caused? You're here. You're not ignorant of the spiritual, right, sis?
Oh, not really. But I also recognize that there are some things that spirits have to offer which are a great benefit to mankind.
Say, I don't know, generosity, comfort, fortitude, right?
Yep, those all sound like things spirits would probably dabble in. Me, right now, I'm really just more focused on celebrating the earth and its many resources. And as she says that, you're going to hear a loud crash, and what sounds like a jackhammer burst from another from a corner not too far away from where you guys are, and a smile is gonna touch her lips. See your lips. About time. And she's gonna be like, "Good catching up to you, sis, but if you excuse me, I've got work to do." And she's going to like.
Oh. But before she leaves, like, oh, certainly, don't let me keep you from your wanton destruction of history and culture.
This isn't wanton destruction, sis. This is reallocation of resources.
Oh my god, they're pulling a heist on the fucking library.
Oh, god damn it.
One and the same, but if you're aware of what happens in the spiritual, you know what happens when they flip then, right?
Yeah. take our chances. Between Kresh and Sakam, we've got plenty of ways of dealing with spirits. And you hear mechanical whirring as she rounds a corner. Are you going to follow her?
I'll go take a look.
You remember those giant mechanical suits you guys fought in the prison?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's 3 of those here. Instead of hands, they have what looks like jackhammers, and they are cracking through the floor, and they are harvesting this blackened crystal that is underneath the library. And as that's happening, there's going to be a puff near Kakan and Hotaru as you guys like see Wang Shitong kind of walking by, like in a bit of a thing, and he's just gonna be like, "Oh, I am Wang Shitong, he who knows 11,104 things." And then like there's gonna be a puff of smoke, and he's gonna disappear, and then he's gonna appear near Minghua, Rizik, Samael, and Arashi, and it's going to be him again. He's like, I'm the great library, Wang Shitong. He who knows 10,984 things.
Mingwell's going to be like, why did that go down?
I'm like, look at Kakan. I'm like, something about that seemed weird to you?
I am the...
Seemed very strange.
I am the great library, Wang Shitong.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
These suits, I've seen them before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw them in
We saw them at the prison.
You saw them in the prison.
There any interesting vulnerabilities, particularly to electricity, on them?
These are grounded.
So no.
Yeah, not really. You noticed a couple of weaknesses in like joints and whatnot last time that dealt damage to them. And your sister's just going to turn around and look at you square in the eyes and say, "No violence in the library, sis. Wouldn't want to anger that spirit friend of yours."
Are they doing violence?
Yeah, that's literally violence in the library.
You're just gonna smile back like, oh. Don't worry. That one's fine. Just dealing with a bandit who's destroying history. Zap.
That's where we're cutting.
Yes.
Oh boy.
So first off, what are we calling this session?
Don't forget your library card.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I like it.
Don't forget your library card. I like it. All right, and it's time, as always, for the questions. This session did not go the direction I thought it was going to go, but that's okay.
Did you expect us to stay back and defend Buzzing Say?
I expected you guys to stay back there for a bit. I believe this was a session of 4 hero points. Let me check my notes. Yura, Rizik, Hotaru, and Kakan. Yep. And we are calling this session Don't Forget Your Library Card. So, everybody, what did you learn? What do you want to know more about? And where do you think this is going? And next week is April. Rizik, what did you learn?
More information on spirits, and also should have gone to library sooner. Did not get as much time on it before it fell apart.
Yeah, I was going to give you guys a green, a yellow, and a red once you got here, but I think we're accelerating past that a little bit.
I mean, we still got quite a bit of useful stuff already.
Yeah, I figured
Yeah.
there's more questions I figured you guys would want to ask.
I
Anyway,
would like more time, but it seems
Yeah.
like we're probably not going to get more time. We got one action.
yeah. What do you want to know more about, Rizik?
Information from library that probably won't get.
You might want to compose a list of questions that you might actually want to research next week.
I did a very short list of like broad topic area, but yeah, I will come up together with the full list of questions.
Fair. And where do you think this is going?
Spirit flipping, library sinking into sands.
Possible. Alrighty. Yira, what did you learn?
Bit more about spirits. Mother Glowworm has a form. We should have come here sooner. There's some interesting alternate firebending from, assuming Minghua explained to the rest of the party the more ancient ways.
Es posible. What do you want to know more about?
So many additional spirit questions that are probably not going to get answered.
Oof. And where do you think this is going?
Fratricide.
From whose perspective?
I think that's the rest of the party to figure out.
Fair. Hotaru.
Interesting how you're with your sister and still answered fratricide.
Yeah.
Hotaru, what did you learn?
Spirit stuff. Also that the owl is flippable, which would be bad.
What do you want to know more about?
So many things, why can't you let us just learn nice things?
Yeah.
If Nick didn't zap, you guys would have had another 2 rounds.
No, we wouldn't have.
No, we
Like,
wouldn't
were-
because
yeah.
of the fact that the information was getting lost. Like,
Yeah,
the announcement of that
there's
being
no
known,
reasonable way we
and
could.
everyone
we would
was
not
going to
respond
start
that.
investigating.
And where do you think this is going?
I'm not gonna get my owl tea party, am I?
No.
You're not allowed to have nice things.
Whose fault is that, Izzy?
I have to blame all of you. That's just pecking order. Minghua, what did you learn?
Lots! See in character for a breakdown. Also, Mother Glowworm is officially on the move.
Yep. What do you want to know more about?
Also lots! I guess my main question is, whose spirit corpse was the one that made Kakan and the other success? And whether or not it was the one General Zakam made the second deal with.
Excellent question. I like the train of thought. And where do you think this is going?
We're going to see the more familiar version of Wan Chi-Tan, and there is no destruction in Ba Sing Se.
Actually, the correct term this go around is there is no conflict in the Earth Kingdom.
Woof.
Yeah. I've been waiting to drop that one. And last but certainly not least, Kakan. What did you learn?
Kakan learned that whatever Director Krish's original intention was, it is very clearly changed. And also a lot about spirits. Kakan wants to know exactly how Kresh has gotten his hands on so many spirits for all these implantations. And what's going to happen is Toucan Sam becomes the owl from Secret of Nim.
Oh, God.
That's quite a description.
I also realized another answer to the question. Boy, are you guys gonna have to work to succeed at your goal that you didn't tell Yura about her killing people.
Yep. Oh, boy. Well,
We gotta knock you out, Nick.
Probably.
On the plus side, the other advantage of me putting all those notes in character is that we have less shit to explain to Han and Nara.
Because, like, I know you're strong, Nick, but I'm pretty sure, like, if me, Ziggy, and Sean work together, we could probably knock you out.
I mean, I think stopping Fire Nation is higher priority than
Yeah, well,
anything else.
that first is just a matter of not
Yeah.
getting them killed, yeah.
Oh no, you certainly could. The problem is there are other distractions.
Yup.
Oh.
Yep.
In retrospect, we probably shouldn't have let you go alone.
No, you
Probably
really
not.
shouldn't have.
Yeah.
That was a bad decision for everyone involved.
I asked 3 times if that's how you wanted to split.
We didn't know your relationship with her.
We
Yes,
knew it was
we did.
someone from past.
Yeah, no, I
And
mean,
they
at
were
this,
almost legit were interested in the Red Lotus.
at this point, you should just assume that anyone Nick has relations with the Fire Nation, he just wants to kill.
So
Yeah, okay, fair.
No, no, you literally knew this one.
yeah, guys,
I didn't.
This Kaori, this is the person when you guys were trying to collapse the cliffside headed to Omashu that was leading the group of walkers.
Okay, yep.
Okay, so potentially one other person should have gone with Yara, but like, I think otherwise some of the ways that we split up made sense.
I mean, here's the thing: if Han or Nara were around, either they would be off doing their own thing, or one of them probably would have went with Yara.
Yeah, we are down to.
People would have gone off and done their own thing by themselves and not put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to give Yura some impulse control? No? Okay, you made a choice.
I mean, she didn't go in expecting fratricide. It just
Oh, are you sure?
she gave it like a 30 to 40% chance.
Uh-huh.
She was hoping that he would be like that Kaori would be like Hotaru's brother. And like merely have swallowed the Kool-Aid and been ignorant.
Why do you keep calling it fratricide?
Yeah. Why are you calling it fratricide? That's kill your father.
Yeah, it's technically sororicide.
I
well-
might have messed that. I thought that was killing of one's own sibling.
Yeah, I
No,
think
it's specifically brother.
Yeah, specifically. Yeah.
Ah, damn it, Google. Sorry, messed up that one.
It does occasionally get generically used that way.
It does occasionally, but yes.
Like,
that's
because
why I was
it's
confused.
the more
like,
common
we met-
turn.
That's why I was confused earlier, because I'm
Sorry.
just like, we met your sister. How is a brother dying out of this?
I messed that one up. My bad.
Completely
Like,
understandable.
fratricide is sometimes used generically because the sororicide term is not well known.
Well, I'm gonna edit that then.
For the shame. All right, well, I hope you all had a good time.
Oh, definitely. That was a very fun one.
I really wanted to know more from the library.
You knew we weren't gonna get that much with how late we left it.
Whose fault is that?
I am curious, Izzy, if would we have actually managed to get to the party if we'd given Wanchiton enough info?
Yeah.
Amazing.
We could have had our tea party.
I think my favorite part about this, though, is you don't know what they're doing there.
I'm assuming they're
No, we-
stealing a lot of
yeah,
shit.
stealing the
I
they-
assumed that they were there getting ore.
yeah, reallocation
Yeah,
of resources. So
Like,
either
and-
the ore from
and-
the
and-
library or the books. Yeah.
Given what the material being drilled at was described, like it's clearly damaging the library, but I assumed that they were getting ore/spirit material.
I thought they're stealing the books.
No.
Oh no, I'm assuming they're harvesting spirit material to make more monsters.
But we'll find out.
You'll find out.
No.
Or you'll stop them and you won't find out.
I don't like how that's guaranteed to be an or, not both.
I mean, it depends on whether we can take one alive or not.
Hey, Yira, about not killing people.
Oh no, we can totally delay that in order to extract important information out of them.
We're not going to let you do that, please.
And then Yira got a "you tried" triangle.
You maybe should have talked to her about this at any point.
I didn't know who this was.
Not that, the killing people thing.
The problem is we keep having to talk to Nora about it too, so...
And you're supposed to be the adult in the room.
Proving once again that Nara is Taryn because stealing all the problem spotlight.
To be fair, I was very involved in oops, we accidentally almost sank the boat. I, the player, take a huge amount of responsibility for that one.
And so just remember, everybody, because Lore is taking responsibility for that, you guys could have been here 2 sessions ago.
I don't think it would have been 2 sessions ago. I thought the boat really only took 1 session.
I'm just going to say, on being the adult in the room, and this is one of the reasons why no one's arguments have gotten through to Yura, is she basically considers herself and the rest of Fire Nation high command war criminals who are never going to be tried.
Yep. And so she's just like, well, if they won't... This is the only way that any of them get consequences.
Yep. Like, I've delayed saying this, but like...
And there are...
Yura's basically
unsurprisingly, there were similarities between Yura and Roy Mustang.
Yep.
I think it's closer to the Punisher, honestly, but yeah.
That's fair.
Your Francine Castle.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say there's a big difference between whether or not you're still in a power structure that has any ability to actually do things outside of violence.
Did you mean America?
No, I meant the difference between the Punisher and Roy Mustang.
Fair.
She easily would have been Roy Mustang if she stayed in the Fire Nation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow, she really straight up would have been.
Yep.
We're just going to keep the Full Metal Alchemist comparisons going, I guess.
I literally started the campaign with this.
Yeah.
Like, I told you this at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That you were going to be the Punisher.
No, that I was playing basically Roy Mustang who defected instead of stayed in.
Yeah.
Must have forgotten that conversation, but also you're not wrong.
No, I told Izzy this.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not messing with anybody's stories much.
Izzy.
There have been plenty of opportunities for you guys to try and bring this up. The most recent one was after the escape, a giant conversation that didn't involve the person who has a hit list.
Yup.
I mean, we kind of didn't... I don't know about you guys. I didn't think you'd listen.
Yeah, likewise.
There are arguments that would be listened to.
You've just been a very inflexible character.
You've been... The reason why I say this is you guys have been using all the wrong arguments. You've mostly been saying, this is a bad thing, you shouldn't do it, to the person who goes, yeah, I'm a monster and a villain, of course I'm going to do bad things.
And also, we haven't even tried offering you alternatives.
Yep.
The alternatives is always a nice option. Like, right now, I gave Yura the alternative of, look, new person, add it to the list or not.
Mm-hmm.
Alternative.
Mostly it's the alternatives that have been given are maybe someone will eventually maybe try them for their crimes.
Okay, who? Answer
Right.
not found. Back to murder.
Right, and like that's been the big problem with this argument is, sure, it would sure be great if there were some sort of tribunal that would actually do this. Followed by crickets, followed by you're going, okay, I guess I'll be the tribunal.
Yup.
Yeah,
Makes
like,
a lot of sense.
it was discussed at one point on, like, when we were talking about this, on how we don't have anyone to turn people into.
Maybe the Earth King, but that would just be straight up execution. Anyway, probably, so...
Yeah.
That's assuming they're not corrupt as shit in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which we've already determined they are because of the dialogue.
Oh, yeah. But we knew that.
I also feel like, again, this is out of character saying things in character. I kind of felt like I gave you guys enough hints for the types of things that might hit, like, maybe you shouldn't destroy knowledge. Maybe you should get people to also, like, try and do the same sort of thing and make things right, or write down what they know so that it's properly preserved culturally.
Yep. I think at least in Minghua's case, he's just sort of mentally put this in the Hans problem folder.
Look, if you remember correctly, Rizik was first going, yeah, we probably should actually just kill these people. we just shouldn't let Ira do it. So, like, was not necessarily going to be the source of the better arguments.
Yeah.
I was telling you guys this now because this is probably the first time this is going to come up in character next session if you want to actually do it.
Oh yeah, Kakan fully intends to make a thing about this.
I'm looking forward to next session now.
Aside from oops, we broke the one rule of the library.
Yeah, we're honestly, I'm not sure we will deal with this next session, because next session involves 1, combat, and 2, dealing with Wan Shi Tong, if we survive that combat.
Yeah, because I don't think they started it is going to be an effective argument here.
No, yeah, we're gonna get booted up.
Well, if they also get booted out with less damage happening, it's still probably for the best.
I'm gonna be pissed at Ira because I'll give you the argument I think will sway you.
Oh, go for it.
Oh, you're being a selfish bitch.
That's an argument, yeah.
You just put your own vengeance list ahead of our need to help other people.
That's not going to work in this scenario because they're actively breaking the library.
Yup.
Like,
But we'll get there.
But you cost us the time we needed to maybe learn something that would help.
and honestly, I'm not sure.
Yura's actually entirely planning on it. She's taking the blame for this, but drawing the attention of the spirit.
So
I might let you do it.
So, dumb question here, which I want you guys to think on. Who is the spirit in charge of the library?
What?
I don't like that phrasing.
I'm sorry, what?
Who is the spirit in charge of the library?
It's Wan Shi Tong, right?
No, he said that he is the library. He's asking who's in charge of the library.
Yep.
No, I'm glad you picked up on that distinction, because that's actually where I was leading you guys.
Yeah.
I said, I realized that the reason for initiating violence is to draw the spirit of the library's attention to this exact location right now.
Oh. Yes, so he's already there. The reason why he can puff in and pop out is that's just an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
He's the fucking library.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that all being said, everybody say goodnight to the recording.
Good night,
night.
recording.
I'm actively more confused than I started the day with. Good night, recording.